Okay. Why do you give us that early feedback? Why do you give us that early feedback?
Oh, well. Yeah, you also saw me over at the, I was right with like Randy this morning.
Just a little bit of housekeeping this morning. I'm Jeff Davis, I'm kind of the one that designed this, and with the help of the local 1841, we put this together. Really what we're trying to do is show you what we do for a living. We're not always just sitting out on the bench looking handsome all the time and pretty. The stuff we actually do. What we're going to do, we're going to do 4 separate exercises today. We're going to do CPR, defib. It's going to be run real time. The next evolution is going to be a car fire. It's going to be a live fire scenario. They'll actually put the car fire out. The third scenario is going to be vehicle extrication. We've got jaws of life out back, some cutters, and some other equipment that we use. The fourth evolution is going to be search and rescue. That's going to be like real life. We've got the room darkened. We've got the room fogged up. So it's going to give you a real taste what it is to be a firefighter and how it is when we go in these atmospheres. The only thing missing upstairs is going to be the high heat. It's warm already a little bit up there, but this is how we train. We've done a lot of training. This is the way we do it, and it brings the real life scenario. The first piece of housekeeping is just a waiver. Basically, if you get hurt today, that you don't hold Chief Sidlow accountable.
I thought you were putting this on.
I am, but it says Leominster Fire Department all over it.
There goes your 3 years.
I want to stress, I want everyone to have fun. I want you to learn. You may be a little tired when you leave. That's okay. We're quite often tired at the end of our shift. But we really want you to experience what firefighting is like and really get a flavor for it. We want you to understand what we do. When we're kind of looking for grants, we're looking for certain type of equipment. Now you have a little bit better idea kind of why we're out there looking for different type of stuff. Today you're going to get to wear the gear. To give you some information on how heavy it is when we're all decked out in our gear, boots, pants, coat, helmet, an SCBA, and the tool in our hand. We're always carrying the tool. We're adding 75 pounds to ourselves. So if the average firefighter is around 200, 180, 250, somewhere around there, you're adding another 70 pounds to yourself. It's exhausting. We've got heat issues today. We had you medically cleared. If everyone's cleared, then you're going to be able to get in the gear. We're going to stress rehab today. We're going to stress water. We are offering coffee, but if you're getting into the suits, please don't drink 3-4 cups of coffee and then go out in the suits. Dehydration is going to be a problem. We won't, like I said at the beginning, we want you to have fun. We want you to stay safe. We've got a lot of firefighters today. We're all off duty. Come down and volunteer. We want to make sure you're safe. If you're not feeling good for any reason, each group, everyone's going to be assigned a group, and you're going to be assigned a liaison. Let somebody know, hey, I'm not feeling good, and we'll just take you aside quietly. We're not going to make any show out of it. We're all EMT, so we know how to take care of you. It should be no problem. Only a few minutes from the hospital. I don't expect to have a problem. But by all means, if you're not feeling good, you're not feeling right, please let us know. Some of the scenarios, the live fire scenario, the search and rescue scenario, if you're claustrophobic, it's no big deal. We do understand that. I teach at the fire academy, and we got to teach recruits going through that. So a lot of times firefighters are kind of claustrophobic at the beginning. If you've got that problem while we're in that search and rescue, let somebody know. We have a lot of personnel up there, and we're going to let you know what's going on. We're going to have somebody with you all the time. Anything you don't feel comfortable with, just say, hey, I don't think this feels right. It's going to be challenging. Like I said, we just want to get you the flavor of everything that's going on. Anyone have any questions? We should run through this pretty quick. Each scenario is going to last about a half an hour. Everything's pretty well timed. After the scenario, we're going to give you 10-15 minutes to cool down, take the gear off, and hydrate, have some water. We've got chairs set up throughout the facility. We're going to reiterate hydrating all day long. It's very important to keep you hydrated. Today for the liaisons, what we have is Craig Long. Craig's our president of the local. Next one, Mark Burnett is one of the liaisons. He'll run another group. Gary Rayno. Is Gary in here? Gary Rayno. Gary's the other liaison. And Roger LaPointe. Roger, come on in. Nut job. Roger's the other. I apologize in advance to anyone that's with Roger's group. And within 10 minutes, you'll understand why I said that.
It will be entertaining.
So I'm going to divvy you up into four separate groups. I'm just going to go. It's random. So Diane, if you could go. If you could go with Craig Long.
Okay.
Lucky you.
Yay.
We don't have to write the Chiefs card. I will wait for the new one. Ricky, you'll be with Gary Rayno.
Okay.
Robin?
Yep.
Robin, you'll be with Roger LaPointe.
Oh, yeah, sure. You planned that. I see how it is.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
So they warned you up, right?
You'll be with Mark. Mark is Mark's straight across here. Ricky Ann, you'll be with Craig. Reverend Sue, you'll be with Gary. Jen, you'll be with Roger. Keep him in line.
Me? Keep them in
Yeah.
line?
Justin, you'll be with Mark.
It's okay if you hit him.
I'm just glad you're not. Why?
Dave, you'll be with
I
Craig.
know. My feelings are hurt. You're right about
Now that was planned.
I may not be where you with you, but I'm gonna be able to see you.
Chuck, you'll be with Gary.
No.
Not until we slap those defense pads on.
Oh, yeah, we're using a real one today.
Are they supposed to go on your head?
Just don't stand in the puddle when you hit the button.
Shock treatment.
We got a different
And
version
Wayne,
of
you'll be with
copay.
How's that copay?
All right, so we'll start. Craig, you'll be CPR. You'll come down this way.
Follow me.
Right with ya.
Morning, Roger. Business.
You can do it now. Actually, we walked
It is
in
okay to
and
do
finished the year.
Same here. Good.
Can I have that okay for like
Stairs
everybody?
over here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over here. And we're gonna be the first arriving company.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna come over.
How long do we have?
An ambulance on fire.
15, 20 minutes?
We got that other game.
These guys are from,
One, yeah. One's from MedStar. That we
Yeah,
work
we'll put it on
closely
the back board, we'll go
with.
over
We
there.
dispatch for them, they run our ALS service, our advanced life support. The fire department just runs BLS, basic life support. And we use them as the medics.
Steve,
More than
you
everybody.
wanna pull up the BVM and there?
Yep.
These guys would be our ambulance crew,
Okay.
Andy and Steve, Ryan.
What we're gonna do is, so this is CPR. Anybody, anybody certified in CPR?
I used to be.
You used to be? Okay. So it pretty much doesn't change. There's a few changes throughout the years in how we do CPR. But bottom line, the basics of CPR is that still to this day, with all the ways people die, cardiac emergencies are the biggest killer in emergency situations. Whether it's in a trauma or a medical problem, the biggest killer of adults is cardiac arrest. cardiac emergencies. The biggest way to save someone, early CPR. That's why we push to have everybody know CPR. When we get on a scene, if someone already knows CPR and they're doing it, a person's chances of survival increase tenfold. When your heart stops, it stops moving blood, stops pumping oxygen into your brain. 6 minutes without oxygen, it's pretty much you're going to be, if not brain dead, it increases the level of chance of being brain damaged. So whether we bring him back or not, 6 minutes isn't a long time. So from when you make a phone call to us getting there, 6 minutes is nothing. So early CPR is important. That's why a lot of times on ambulance calls, that's one of the big ones. People always ask us, we always get the question, how come you see a fire engine, an ambulance, and another ambulance on a call? Fire engines, because all of our firefighters are EMTs, so we want to get them on scene. Most of our engines, if they're coming from quarters, can get to anywhere in the city within 3 to 5 minutes, and then the ambulance is right behind them. A CPR call, a code we call it, it takes 7, 8 to 10 people. It sounds like a lot, but you have your 4 guys on an engine company. You want 4 guys on an engine company. Usually you have 3 on your engine company, 2 on the ambulance, and then 2 medics. Nowadays, the protocols have changed where you're actually going to get 4 ambulances, 3 ambulances, because the paramedics, they ride medic and a basic, and the protocols call for 2 paramedics on a code. So you're going to get your firefighters, your EMTs, your paramedics, and their helpers. But bottom line, CPR. I'll teach you a real quick method of CPR.
We'll kind of go over this a little bit.
Just like this. In CPR, there's two things going on. You're doing compressions, which you're basically trying to pump blood through the body, which is pulling oxygen, and then we also give oxygen manually. The most important part of CPR is compressions. It used to be breathing is more important than compressions. Right now, all the studies show good, hard, quality compressions can save a life without even doing the breathing. So a quick method, hands-only CPR. You come up on someone, they're not responsive. You can check the pulse. You don't need to check the pulse. You're just going to kind of look
for any sort of breathing or anything like that.
You feel for breathing. You'll breathe on your neck, and you
So-
go right into compressions. Heel your hand.
So what you want to do, you want to be right on like the nipple line, right in the middle. Put one palm down like that, interlock your hand, and just go up and down, keeping your arms locked like that. Gives you more leverage.
You're not going to hurt someone. The harder you push, the better. Almost imagine in your mind you're pushing right down to their back. You're going to pump at a rate of at least 100 times a minute.
You guys want to try it?
Going down, that's what you hear.
It's, what American Heart is teaching is, especially for the hands-only CPR for everybody, is you'll hear ads that they're doing right now. It's you're pumping to the beat of staying alive. So if you can
Use that song everybody knows.
Now it's in my head.
That's the beat that will give you 100 compressions per minute.
And if you do just that until we arrive, that's going to increase this person's survival tenfold, especially if you saw them go down.
So the new way is no longer like 5 or 6 breathe, 5 or 6
Nope.
breathe, just pump.
We still have compressions and breaths
I was gonna
because
say,
we have the
we
equipment.
adhere to
As far as you're concerned,
just
unless
keep
you
doing that.
unless you go and take a CPR class and learn everything,
Yep.
just get those compressions.
Now, do you look for blockage or anything like that?
No, well, I mean you can take a quick look. You're never going to put your hand in someone's mouth.
No?
2 reasons. One, if there was something, you could push it further down. 2 is, and I'll give you a good example. The last CPR we just did a couple weeks ago, we had an airway in the person's mouth. He started to swallow it, and whatever reason, his body convulsed and he locked down. You don't want that to be a finger, because it'll be gone. So
Plus, if there is something
There's
blocked, by
something
doing
doing your
compressions,
CPR.
you loosen it up.
you have a good chance of it's
Almost a Heimlich, huh?
almost.
Right,
And the Heimlich on someone who's heavy or pregnant is to do chest compressions.
Right.
So just the chest compressions alone are going to help you push something up. And then you get that blood flow until we get there. And then we have airways, and then the medics, they have an advanced airway where they can go all the way down.
So my first question was around, when you come to a site, right, you guys are basic life support, third line, advanced life support. I mean, none of that really matters in the emergency thing, I just get things going. But at what point do you say, hey, we're gonna bring these guys in or don't?
We dispatch them.
We dispatch.
Always.
If it's called a possible
Yeah.
code,
So
They
you
would
call and
always
say,
be
I think
dispatched
someone's
to us.
not breathing, we're coming with the ambulance, the engine, the
and the
medics.
medics.
Right off the
Oh,
bat.
and we got.
And everybody's.
Everybody's
Yeah.
coming.
everyone's
If
responsible.
you see something that is a surprise that you didn't get out of dispatch, then you'll call them.
Yep.
Then we'll add more.
And it's either, depending on what's going on, we might start transporting and meet up with them,
Yeah.
and they'll just jump on board and then continue to the hospital.
What's the fundamental difference in a situation like that? If you find something here between ALS and BLS?
They're gonna do the advanced airway,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do a line and start pushing
They
drugs.
can push drugs.
They can push drugs on the way there.
They have higher capabilities of analyzing rhythms.
Yeah.
Our
Their
our
machine-
defibrillator is semi-automatic, it tells us when to shock. Their defibrillator, they're actually trained to read heart rhythms and figure this out. They push drugs, the biggest thing is pushing
If-
drugs
if-
with them.
with our defib, if there's no rhythm at all, asystole, flat line,
Yeah.
nothing, it's not gonna give us a shock.
I see.
They could override that.
So what we'll do is we'll go over, have you guys just do a few compressions real quick, and then we'll kind of run you through a scenario of what it's like when we show up on a scene doing CPR. So, anybody want to hop in?
So if your fireman's singing, staying alive, it's all right?
Yep.
Yes.
Sometimes I catch myself saying that.
Push right down.
Keep your elbows locked in, right? And
It's kind of a gross thing, I guess, but if you're doing CPR right, you're probably going to crack someone's ribs.
That's,
Cracked ribs are okay to deal with if you're alive.
Okay.
So it's not, you're not going to hurt this person. Right. And CPR takes a long time, it's tiring. I mean, it could be, we could be at a call up the other end of town, you could be doing CPR for 10 minutes, so, but you got to
and that's another reason for the help. When the engine company arrives, if someone's doing compressions, we want to keep that going while we're transporting. So everyone else will be grabbing a backboard, trying to put them on. We'll be doing it as we're getting them to the ambulance. We try not to stop.
Guy takes it right, the guy will be
Straight
in the
down,
back.
good hard
We'll be doing
compressions.
it all the way. Yeah.
The whole time while we're rolling them on the stretcher, somebody's been riding the stretcher.
Yeah,
doing
somebody's
compressions.
riding the side rail of the stretcher.
I always.
Doing it with
years
one
ago,
hand, too, when
did the
you're
mouth
riding the side of the
breathing to check that nothing's blocked, to do all that.
We've always been taught that, and now all of a sudden they're teaching you, this is more important. For the lay person to
Get the
find
blood-
someone,
get
just
the
get
blood
on the
pumping.
compressions.
You can go without
Now-
oxygen longer than you can go without.
Now, do you go directly to, Worcester?
No. For CPR, we'll go right to Leominster. Perfect. Now, the thing is, we say 100 a minute, it's at least 100 a minute. So it's okay to go too fast. I mean, you're not gonna be like a jackrabbit. You're gonna slow down as you go. And each set you do, they're gonna slow down more. But too slow isn't good enough. Good
I
quality.
want to make sure you let the
fast.
chest recoil, because that's actually what,
That's when they get
that's
back in.
what gives the pumping action of the heart. That's what'll pump. And every compression you do, it's drawing in air automatically. So while they're not getting like oxygen like we would give, they're actually still getting air, which is going to become oxygenated and get pushed up to the brain.
That's
just by
not for
doing
heart
the
attack, they were
compression.
talking about going direct, and,
Heart attack
Heart
and
attack.
cardiac arrest, two different things that
Right.
we're talking.
So they go right to Worcester for a heart attack?
They may, there's certain protocols you meet, and they go to Worcester, go right to the cath lab. A lot of times we'll bring someone in, go right up to the cath lab.
Yeah.
Cardiac arrest, you want to get them to the nearest medical facility as quick as you can. So,
Cardiac arrest means it's stopped.
they're dead.
Versus
Heart-
The
pain.
heart stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Versus
versus I
chest
think
pain.
I'm having a heart attack.
As opposed to having a heart attack, and these guys, they'll put you on the monitor, they can actually see that you're having a heart attack on there. Well, you got to get down to Worcester because that makes a difference. Your heart stopped, we need to just get you to the nearest
Right.
medical facility.
So is the Leominster ambulance going to Worcester on a heart
Yes.
attack and tied up on a half an hour or an hour run?
Closer to an hour, hour and a half. So, and now, when that happens,
Right.
Our new policy is we will then call 2 guys in
we
and
bring
man
2 guys
rescue
in
2.
off duty.
Oh, you gotta go to Worcester?
That way
Which-
we're not running short.
How often you going to Worcester, any idea? Once a week?
At least.
It's-
You'll have
It has
It has-
days, we'll
it has
have
spurts.
2-3 weeks where we don't go at all.
Yeah.
Then it'll seem like we're
Yeah.
going every shift,
I
sometimes
was
2
going to
times a
say,
shift.
I've gone the last 3 shifts,
I
I've
know.
heard.
Really?
Once.
Because that was supposed to be one of the big things, right? The demand of sending the Ambulance to Worcester is a big deal, right?
Yes.
And that's not our choice anymore, that's protocols.
Yeah.
We need to get to
You
that.
know, trauma, depending on the mechanism of injury, you might have to go.
The motorcycle
right
accident
there.
day that was in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both our ambulances went to us.
Stroke.
All right.
So we wanna show them what it's like?
Yep.
Come in real time.
Show them what this is the equipment when we get called for a CPR call. Like I said, all our engines have EMTs on them. All our engines carry all these medical supplies. This is the first in bag.
We actually all carry the same bags pretty much.
Whichever crew is the first one in the door, whether it be the engine or the ambulance, are gonna walk in the door with this bag. This has your oxygen tank. It has devices, everything PD.
Infant PD.
Then it has air masks for regular oxygen therapy, nasal
Child.
cannulas. These are bag valve masks. This is what we use when we're doing CPR or assisted ventilation on someone. Obviously, an adult one. We carry 3 of them on the ambulance. I think the trucks only carry 2.
Nope.
Yeah,
We have all
PD
3 of them in the
standard.
truck.
Adult, PD, infant. Obviously makes a difference of how much air you're pushing into someone. You don't want to push that much air into a baby with lungs this big. So you're going to go in with this bag, airways. We carry OPAs, airways,
All different size. The nasal airways.
So when we get on a scene, first crew in, you're going to run in the door, you're going to find a person. First person, check for a pulse. Now with us, with you, we say don't even check for a pulse, just see if you think they're breathing. If they're not, right in CPR. Us, it's a few more steps up. We're going to go in, we're going to check for a pulse. We have no pulse. Right on the compressions immediately. You have one guy's on compressions. Next person is going to get out the defibrillator. That's the next step that's really huge, is early defibrillation. Get the pads on, get an analyzer. Someone else is going to put an airway into you. This basically is going to keep your tongue from blocking your airway while we're doing CPR. Anything that's in your mouth, that's right in your throat, and then we'll breathe. For us, it's 30 compressions, 2 breaths. 30 compressions, 2 breaths. So this will be hooked up right to the oxygen, so we'll have oxygen going in, straight oxygen. The defibrillator, our ambulances and all our fire trucks carry this defibrillator. This is a training one. It will not shock you, I promise. Nobody will get shocked. Craig's got a special one for Dave. This is a semi-automatic defibrillator. The ones you see at Orchard Hills, the high schools, the schools, those are automatic. They'll have one button. You push it and it does everything for you. Ours is semi-automatic because we're trained. You push the analyze button, you push the shock button. They all come with pads. These aren't going to stick that well, but defibrillator plugs in, and then it starts yelling at you. It starts talking to you. You plug it in, you turn it on. These pads, a regular set of pads, these are training pads. Here they are.
Connect.
If you forget where to put them, they have pictures on them. This one's worn off. So, one pad, left side, other pad, up on the top of the chest. What it does is it sends electricity from one pad to the other. It shoots it across your body. So
Connect.
that's how they shock your heart, through these little pads here. And as we do the CPR, we'll go through how it runs. But just want to familiarize you with the equipment. And we'll come in with, usually it won't be the first crew in the door. It's usually the second crew, whether it's the ambulance or the fire engine. We'll bring a backboard in. Because often we're going to find someone laying on a bed on some soft surface. You want a hard surface to do CPR if you can help it. If someone stops breathing, and they're sitting in a chair, you want them on the ground, obviously, to do CPR. We use a backboard, we strap them. That way we have a hard surface right throughout. Carry them out on the backboard, we put them on a stretcher. They stay on the backboard all the way to the hospital. That way you always have a hard surface to push you.
I don't think they might know, but you have the numbers of how many ambulance calls you do in a year?
We do.
Right on that sheet.
I don't know them offhand.
Over 4,000. We go on over 4,000 Rescue 1 calls.
Wow.
A year. So what's
Rescue
that?
2 would be
It's 100 a week, right?
Rescue 2 does about 600.
Rescue 1, from November 22nd, 2010 to November 21st, 2011. Rescue 1, ALS, which is when we have the paramedics with us, 1,367 runs. BLS, which would be just our ambulance without paramedics, 1,446. 478 no service. That would be when we go to a car accident. We respond to a car accident. Someone says, no, I don't want the ambulance. We sign a waiver. We come to your house because you called for your wife and she says, nope, I'm not going. That's a no service for us. Total EMS runs for Rescue 1, that's our primary frontline truck, 3,301 runs. Rescue 2, which is our backup truck that we man. If Rescue 1's out, we take someone off the fire engine and someone off the ladder. ALS 152, BLS 186, no service 77, for a total of 415.
No, thank you.
And then when both our ambulances are out, or if we're training or tied up at fire, we'll send MedStar, the private company, to run the calls for
No,
us.
thank you.
That's 281 calls they've done. ALS 227, BLS 70 no service, for a total of 578. So,
So it averages like 10 a day, right?
yes. Yep.
Which is phenomenal when you think about it.
Yep. And 10 a day, and
10 a
your
day.
average, your average ambulance call, an average call is about an hour turnaround. From when you leave the station till you come back to the station, you're gone. So,
And on top of that now, our reports are done on computer. So they have laptops that they're gonna bring with them. They're gonna start the report, get some information. They get back, they have the patient's information from the hospital. They have to start doing the report, and this all helps our billing process. But on a very, very routine call where you didn't have to do much, you know, things went well, there's not a lot of stuff you have to enter, it takes at least a half an hour to do a report. So if you went on those 10 runs, and they were just regular calls, there's another 5 hours in reports.
Well,
Yeah.
10 a day. You think about a city of this size, 10 a day is a lot.
that's a lot.
Well,
it's funny,
you
you
know,
go to some cities around us and it just doesn't seem like they're running as much. I don't know what it is here.
Leominster is 6th in the state for motor vehicle accidents with injury.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta write that down.
And if you drive around Leominster,
Well, we've got a lot of highways,
Believe
a lot of
it.
highways, a lot of highway
Right.
access.
Without Route 13, we're probably
You know, right?
150th.
actually, more of the accidents I've been to weren't on Route 13, ironically. Yeah, I mean, but that's just falls. I work every
Yeah.
fourth day.
Yep, whenever they're ready.
Hang it down low. You want to put it on right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of getting
Pretty tough in here. They put penetration protection in there. It's like an inner shell, and then you get the outer shell. So. We don't use these just for the purpose of today.
Oh, the other night,
Typically they're,
weighed out, there's a big scale there, a little stretched out, and we weighed ourselves.
they gotta be no mix, right? They don't have to They've gotten better. This one.
What we're gonna do is a demonstration, we'll show you the equipment. When we get to the search and rescue area, you'll have your option whether you wanna go on air or don't wanna go on air, it's up to you. But what we wanna do is just show you the demonstration of what it's like. The gear that you have on, it's all three pieces. The outside is a protective shell. This protects us against cuts. I was at a car fire one time, the plate glass window broke, fell on my back, and the only thing that ripped was the reflex light on this coat. This outside protected me against that plate glass window. It's very strong, made out of Kevlar. Same thing, bulletproof vest made out of. The second part of this gear, this is a protective film. It's waterproof. Also protects us against bloodborne pathogens. Any type of diseases that we may, that's liquid out in the field. The third part of the gear is the vapor barrier, and what that does protects us against the high heat. The gear that we buy nowadays is good up to 1,000 degrees, so we can be inside an environment 1,000 degrees. We may cook inside, but the gear will survive. So they can bring us out. Pretty much all will be like a microwave oven inside. So all this stuff, it's you're looking somewhere around $2,000 to outfit a firefighter just in this gear itself. We haven't even talked about the Scott air packs, but you're somewhere around $2,000 for this type of gear. And that's basically an overview of what the other thing we have on are firefighting boots. We would have gloves on. We also have a Nomex hood, so that if something were to flash over with our Scott on, we're not going to get burned anywhere on our face. What I'll have is Jay Blank will demonstrate the Scott Air Pack. He'll go over that a little bit.
All right, these are our Scott Air Packs, our SCBA, which stands for Self-Contained Breathing Apparatus. These are in all the seats of the fire trucks. It consists of a tank compressed to 4,500 PSI. It reduces down to our breathing regulator, which we put onto the air vents. I'm going to put this on, and we'll help you put these on today, just because they can be kind of a pain. You get shoulder straps and a belt. The belt will take most of the weight of it. We turn the tank on all the way. There's a gauge in the back. There's a gauge right here on the shoulder to show you how much air you have left. Now, when it gets down to a quarter of a tank, the regulator on your base piece will vibrate, signaling you have a quarter of a tank left and it's time to get out. Also, built into this is a pass alarm. It's a personal alert safety system. If you stop moving for a certain amount of time, it'll start that alarm. It starts out slowly, it'll get louder and louder and louder. It starts out like this. It gets louder and louder, then it'll go on a full alarm. And that's in case one of our guys is down, follow that sound and hopefully find them and get them out.
You probably recognize that from 9/11. I mean, a lot of that footage, that's all you heard in the background.
It's pretty loud. If you're wearing that today and it starts going off, do about a little wiggle, the sensor's down here. That'll get the silence. Also, you can press this button and it starts going off on the side. red button in front is if you wanted to go straight to alarm. If you were down, people would put you hit that red button. Also on these packs, these newer packs that we got from the grant back in 2004, was called Buddy Beating System. All our frontline packs have this on. Brian's running low on air, and I'm his partner. I can clip in, I have the same connection on my pack. I can clip in, we can share air. Unfortunately, we haven't had to use this yet. And it's there, it's another tool we have in case we need it. Mask. These are the masks. It's right around your face, you get a head net over the top. Put it on, we're going to take the bottom straps, top straps. Put our hand right over the bottom there and check to see if we got a good seal. It sucks right to your face, you have a good seal, which means nothing's going to get in. Put this in, flip it in, put the red knob up. Fits right in, twist. And take one deep breath in. You're breathing on the ears. You need to take it off. There's a thumb clip on the side. Pull it forward. Come off, and there's a switch on the top, which will shut it off. So in, turn, breathe. We'll be there to help you in case you have any questions with it.
If you choose not to do it, that's nothing, we'll get closer to people options. One of the businesses that these bottles carry oxygen, they're not oxygen, it's just ambient air. We get a compressor in the center of the station, and the tube that goes up to the roof, and just driving ambient air. No compressing it.
Yep, this big tube on the side of the station just shuts the air right in.
Yeah.
Fills it up. Yeah, right. The lights. Okay, so the lights do work on it.
Yeah, if you guys want to separate, you can take the,
Oh, just another quick thing. These are half-hour bottles. We call them half-hour bottles. That's great if you're sitting there, standing here. It'll probably last you a half hour, maybe a little bit longer. When we're working in a fire, these last 10, 5 minutes, because you're breathing so fast and hard. That's it. Then you're not switching out and getting a new one. After about 2 of these, working hard, you're pretty shot.
There's 2 of you guys going to be an ambulance crew. Okay, so Steve and Andy will be our ambulance crew, and there's 3 of you guys. You guys could be our engine crew. So for this scenario, we'll have our ambulance crew show up first because they have know-how. You guys are going to come in as the engine crew to assist them. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll walk in the door. You'll find them already getting going on CPR. All right. So guys, we'll just have you just not even half a minute ahead of them, just so they're already just pulling up, so they can watch everything you do when you get on scene. So, you guys come on in. We're going to go through it, you guys are going to come in, and then the paramedics are going to come in, they're going to kind of go through what they do, and we're going to package a patient up, we're going to bring them out, we're going to load them on the ambulance. So, lieutenant, driver, pipeman, that would be your position. So, drivers, if we need them, they're going to be in helping us, but they're kind of like a runner for us. You'll be running out to get the backboard that I told them that the next crew's going to bring in. Hey, hold on, don't stop. Hey. Don't do it while they can't see.
Well, right, so when you pull out like that, you're the driver. Obviously, you've got to make sure that you're parking in a safe place for these guys. You're going to be securing the truck, especially if we know it's a code. We're jumping off quickly and making a run for it. You know, if we get there about the same time, we're just going to go in with them. If they were there ahead of us, they might radio back. Engine 4 grab the backboard, so you would stop their truck, grab the backboard, and off you go, and you'd be,
You have full
talking the truck.
communication with radios?
Yeah, we all carry radios. Everyone in the department carries a radio. And what you would do is if the ambulance is here first, they're not going to come in and back up to the door nice and neat.
Right.
They're just going to pull in, jump out, run in. So our pipeman, ideally it's 4 people on the truck, so you got 3 coming in, and you can, and the driver would stay outside and shuttle. Sometimes we just all work together. The driver would turn the truck around, back it up, get the stretcher out. So here we go. We're going to come in, and I mean, you guys are coming in. We're going to do this where you pulled up right behind them. So you guys come in, one of you guys just bring the backboard over, these guys will be working, and we'll just talk you through what you're doing.
I'll get it for some of the drivers.
All right, when they walk in, you're just now assessing the patient, okay?
We're ready to move?
What about
Can't knock it, just-
cart to wheel it up, you know, when you lift it to the thing and then up and in?
Depending on where we are, right, if it's a house, a lot of times you can't get the stretcher all the way in. We're carrying them out on the backboard, the drivers would have been outside, the doors open, brought the stretcher right to the door. Or if it's a big open area like this, we might be able to wheel it.
Whenever we can get the stretcher in the building, huge.
Oh, I can imagine.
Huge, yeah.
As
But-
close as we
Third
can to the
floor,
patient.
right?
because
Now you get that weight.
ineffective to person on the bottom.
You gotta keep moving the guy too.
Quite often, this happens on the third or fourth floor,
Yeah.
and you're coming down a staircase this
And then we
big.
can get on the stretcher.
That's really fun.
Getting
All
a
right.
bigger cup.
So they're ready for it?
Yep, what's
We
that?
can usually get right.
Okay, so you guys come in, you're right behind the ambulance.
Okay.
They just pulled up ahead of you. They called back, they said, we have a code. The paramedics are still on their way now. Oftentimes, the paramedics are coming from Battle Street, which is right on the limits of Fitchburg line. So they're probably 3 or 4 minutes behind. A call like this, it seems like it takes forever, but people actually tend to get there quicker. So what these guys are doing, Steve found that there's no pulse. Now right away, there's only 2, so someone's got to come over here, hop in, and you set up the defibrillator. It looks liberty.
It's the driver guy. I gotta be ready to.
One of you could be over here.
Andy would be,
Get the strap,
put an OPA in.
Yep, Ryan, to make
Okay,
sure
as soon
each
as
one's
you
on
get it
side.
on, you plug it in, you turn it on. And now you just tell him, I have the defibrillator, let me put the, he's gonna keep going while you do it.
Okay.
Now Andy's gonna drop an OPA in, an airway,
Perfect.
to maintain the airway. You measure an airway. Quick. These airways, they're different sizes for different people. So you basically want it the size from your ear to the corner of your jaw. And that's how you can tell. Because someone like him and someone like you are a lot smaller than he is, half the size, okay? A full-grown adult male and an adult woman, almost half the size. So, but you can't go wrong as long as you get one in. They come in sideways, then you turn them. If you put it in and someone gags, you don't need to do CPR. Because they will gag. This will hit your gag reflex. So if you try to put this in, 'cause you think someone
And they
isn't
gag.
breathing, they gag, they don't need CPR. That's a very good sign.
What's going on?
So now you would be telling them that we've got a full code, CPR's been initiated.
Okay, so what this just said was push to analyze. So now you're gonna stop CPR.
Okay.
Nobody touch him.
Now what this is doing is it's analyzing a heart rhythm, whether it's a shockable rhythm or not.
Stand clear.
Nobody's near the
Wanna switch,
patient.
Andy? Yep.
Another thing we have to do, we often switch positions so you don't get tired.
All right, so we're gonna shock it by just keep doing that.
Charging.
Stand clear. Push
All right,
to
I'm
shock.
clear, you're clear. Right back to seat.
You shock someone, you'll actually see the body will
Start
almost jump.
to heal.
Now this is a chaotic situation. We're out in the open. Oftentimes this is going to be someone's living room, kitchen, bedroom. Zero space. Now all of a sudden you have all these people to help, and you usually have a family member or 2 or 10
Like this.
screaming, crying on your back, telling you to save them. So very
So
hectic.
now you would have been here assisting and saying,
Oftentimes
okay
the
guys,
lieutenants
get the
will come in and
backboard
try to-
ready.
Yep. So let you
All
guys
right,
help.
let's for now, you guys would
Let
be.
them help you guys put them on.
Usually
make
what
it
we'll
so
do,
easy,
we'll,
Steve.
we'll roll them on the side, we'll bring the board right in
Slide the
behind
board
them,
right over.
and then ready, 1, 2, 3, roll them back.
Now you jump right back in those compressions. You always want someone doing compressions whenever you can. Now from this point, the paramedic is here. He's in charge of this patient in the scene. Now you're at his whim. He's going to tell you what he wants, or she.
Will you keep the defibrillator with them on them
Tuck that in.
carrying?
We will.
We put it right in between his legs.
The paramedics show up. They actually carry a monitor that's
Which I have.
He has it.
Yeah.
But for now, they shocked him once, and now I always judge the amount of time that there's been. Now they're ready to go, so what I would basically do is stay out of the way, and we'll just bring him outside and I'll meet him outside.
Okay.
Because that's how long it took me to get here. If I'm here earlier, I do more things, but for this scenario right now, we would do this, and then we'll stop everything that we're doing and we'll bring him outside. And they can even lift them.
Yep.
Carry them down.
So we all grab charge and just.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the
Depending on the
person,
size of them, yeah, we make
Put
that.
one on each side and the location.
a lot of times this doesn't work if you're in someone's house because you don't have room to walk 6 people on a board. It's usually 2 and people in front of you, behind you, guiding you.
Like, how much does the average guy like this weigh?
Average male is what, around 200 pounds?
200 pounds, probably.
Hey.
There's that camera.
That's where we sometimes.
And honestly, usually a good rule of thumb is as you go up the floor, they go up a few pounds. It's just, that's how
So
it
they
works.
start at like
Murphy's Law,
150,
huh?
by the time you get up there, they're 275.
Yeah, and if they're not, it actually feels that way because
A classic example of what happens almost every call you were talking was how they had to get them around the corner. They had to lift them all the way up into the air on one end because this door doesn't give us enough room. So now they go right, look, they go right back.
every chance you can, you're back on those compressions. Now Andrew just pointed out a good point, whether you guys even realize it happened or not, to make that corner right there, which is a relative, you guys had to go up over your heads.
Right.
All right, now think of doing that on a small little winding staircase. You're almost standing this person upright. So it really takes a team effort. Yep, you want to stop. Let's stop to get them in.
So a lot of the three things was the same as we don't have enough room to bring the board down sideways. So we really like walking down with the board vertically.
And you can see how chaotic it is just with us talking you through it. Our ambulances have a little more room in them, which is nice because
We do this.
they do this all the time. I mean,
And
they do a lot more with a lot less here, like ambulance size ones.
When I would be here.
Now often what's going to happen is, now all of a sudden you have a couple ambulances and a fire truck. We're all going to the hospital. Fire truck, everybody. We're going to have the paramedic and get usually 2 paramedics. One of their helpers, one of our guys is going to be in there. So now your 3-man engine crew is going to be out of service because one of your crew is going to hop on their ambulance and drive it and follow you. So all of a sudden you can see now we're going up the road as a parade.
Generally, at the very least, if MedStar didn't have a second ambulance available with no paramedic, there's going to be 2 of our rescue 1 crew in the back. They'll go driving from the engine. And Pikeman will drive our ambulance, and then we'll have 2 of us and the paramedic in the back because they still need to be able to drive their truck.
Why is that guy called a pipe?
Pikeman,
Yeah, what's that?
the nozzle on a hose.
Oh, okay.
Throughout history it's been called the pipe.
Okay.
So you're a pipe.
You want to be Pikeman 1. You don't want to be anything below Pikeman 1.
Oh, okay, I'll remember
We have
that.
Pikeman 2, but Pikeman 2 doesn't get the pipe. You'll see that when we go throw some water.
Pikeman 2 stands
Now,
at the bottom of the stairs.
another thing is MedStar has these fancy stretchers
Batteries.
with batteries to go up and down. Ours do not have that. Ours you would have to lift the whole thing up.
Saves
Pick
your
it
back.
up, saves your back.
So you all respond to a thing, it's ALS, right? Yeah. And it ends up MedStar takes it to the hospital.
Yes.
So you guys, they're on their own?
We
You follow?
transport, no.
You follow?
We transport.
We're all in line with
come
truck.
with us.
Oh, they will come
Yeah.
with you.
Ride in our
We
truck.
would lose our piping to drive this truck.
I think he's talking about any ambulance.
Well, I'm just saying, if you all go there and everybody, because you think it might be ALS, and it turns out that it is, and MedStar is
keep it
going
together,
to
carry on.
be applying this, and they're going to do it in your vehicle?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Really?
Everything goes in our vehicle. We transport it.
I see.
Unless one of our ambulances is, then
I know what you're saying.
And so if it happens to
all the
North
stuff's gonna
Leominster and the ambulance comes from downtown, you send this engine over? You go with them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then they'll go right to the hospital?
if it's a regular ALS
They
call,
lose one of their guys. They lose one of their guys to drive it like that.
Oh, they have to, right? Then they have to.
Then they have to go get it.
Yeah, you don't want to pick it up.
or they're out, they don't have supplies. You have to have at least 3 guys to be insured.
All of us are actually trained to assist these guys. We work with them on a regular basis, especially the guys on the ambulance. We're assist to help them with stuff, like use, spike IV bags for them. So we're kind of extra sets of hands for them. You'll be a step ahead of them as to what they're going to need while they're doing their thing.
Now this is one scenario that's pretty, you're in a building and everything. The one that I'm curious about is you got a car accident. Right now you have a scene, right? You may be first, the police aren't there yet, right? And so you don't know what's going on, and you're gonna do all this stuff and sort of control the scene, right?
You can find yourself on the ambulance and that's
You have to kind
now
of
you're looking at traffic.
Right.
dealing
Yeah,
with
that's
police
true.
calling people.
Getting them out of the way. Right.
Yeah, and how many times is there another accident? People driving by watching the accident, right? So, you know, someone's gotta be there to make sure everyone's safe.
That's actually one of the scenarios I'm glad that they think
Yeah.
That's I mean, this is one scenario. The surroundings are controlled.
very much so.
Right, when you're in a car accident on the intersection, it's a mess, right? You gotta control that as well as
And we'll be yelling back saying, where are the police? We need traffic control.
And sometimes they're the hardest ones supposed to work with the police because their whole focus is to get the road open.
Yeah.
Hurry up! What are you guys
So
doing?
they don't want you taking a lane.
State police don't care. They'll shut the whole highway down and take as long as you need. We don't care. Local police just want the road opened up again.
You know, it's also like, and like they said too, dealing with family members, especially when you're doing a call like this, is some of the toughest things. 'Cause you got people yelling at you. I mean, especially kids. Kids are the absolute worst. You know, if you do a kid call like this,
We were at one of those kids that's just kind of walking up and just finding also
Yeah.
I can say from personal experience, my husband is doing photos on me today. He's
That's
been
who I found
arrested
the
twice,
hardest
and you
family
guys
to deal
think
with, the mother.
one with 11, first one, he ended up with a
Always
Worcester.
been-
The
it's
second
the
one, he
second
had
one.
Now, can they go with
Leominster, and the next day,
Depending on the situation. If a kid just
didn't have to do
has fever,
CPR,
doesn't
but
feel
everything
great,
else that went on,
put the
it
mother in
was
the ambulance,
phenomenal.
they're reassured. Kids
So-
get scared to death.
Right.
If it's a critical injury, we usually try to keep them alive.
In some cases, you'll see people you won't see them close. What's that? Well, you can sit there if you want.
Nope, gone.
Make sure that nobody falls. Pass it, get them off. It's a long seat. Ready for water? Ready.
off to the side.
Let the tool go where it's gonna go. Keep yourself out of the way.
My
Don't let go
goal
of
is
that
to
drop.
protect him, protect yourself when the door comes through. The main thing is the door is locked down. Stay on it. Back. Keep going.
Okay, that door's clear. Yep. Yeah, we're right green thinkers.
That's the biggest difference. So their first in bag, which is green, has an oxygen in it, a blood pressure cuff, a BVM, and some random band-aids and stuff. So this is my first in bag, what I can do as a paramedic, okay? The difference is, it looks different. It's a different bag, but the difference is what's inside the bag. Now I carry everything they carry. So I have a BVM, I don't have oxygen supplies in this particular bag, but the difference is that when you go inside my bag, I have all these pouches. Well, this pouch here is purely for IVs, because I can do field IVs. So this is everything that I need to put an intravenous line in a patient. So it's all different size catheters, and then all the stuff that I need to finish an IV, tourniquets and everything. So that's one pouch.
What are you putting for IV? Morphine or okay?
To begin with, it's to make access to give everything else. So at first it's just normal saline, which is just what our normal body uses as a medium between blood and not having any blood to pump the heart. So that's normal saline. So once the access is made, I can do whatever I want with it, be it drugs, draw labs, get blood. I can do all of that stuff before I get to the hospital. So the first thing I do in just this kit is purely get the IV in. So from there, I can, which is hard to see, for a cardiac arrest in any situation, I have all of these drugs here, which are all different, do all different sorts of things. And this is what really separates this and my monitor, which is my bigger box that's up there, separates a paramedic from a basic EMT. I can give drugs from a low blood sugar, I can bring their blood sugar up by giving them dextrose, to a cardiac arrest. This is epinephrine that is promote the heart to start contracting again, which is what we're using it for. We're hoping that's what happens. And then below that I have lidocaine, which is used to get rid of dysrhythmias, which means your heart's not pumping correctly. It's pumping but not correctly, so then I can treat that. And this one, which is ripped open, is to slow down your heart. So if your heart rate's going way too fast, I can slow it down. All the way down to your heart's going too slow and I need to speed it up chemically. So, and then this is a typical aspirin and nitro, which we wouldn't, this scenario wouldn't use this. This is for your chest pains. We discussed going having an MI in the truck or a heart attack. This would be my frontline meds there. Aspirin, everybody should be taking aspirin. Things your blood's out so clot doesn't get in the way of your heart and lets it pump better. And this little bottle here is nitro. Nitro promotes more oxygen.
Don't they do it? Right. Don't they do it in the nasal form now or no?
Yes. I'll show you in a second. So that's just my primary stuff. Now up in this pouch up here are more drugs that are more specific to other items. That's purely quick, fast, inside the house. Now in here, I have Narcan. Narcan's only used for one thing. It counteracts opiates, so heroin. It counteracts a heroin reaction. Okay, that's what that is. These are for respiratory and nebulizers, or MDI, albuterol and stuff. I have it in a different form. It goes inside a nebulizer, which I'm sure everybody's seen. That's there. And then there's numerous other ones here for, well, everything. There's some that makes you so you don't vomit. There's some because you have an allergic reaction. There's some because pregnant females get eclamptic, their blood pressure goes way down, and I can have medicine for that, and so on and so forth. And now, like you were saying, 50% of our drugs can be given nasally. Between Narcan, I can give morphine nasally. All it is this little tiny adapter right here gets screwed onto the end of the vial. And then when you push it in, this creates a mist rather than just like, so like you said, I can give a lot of these drugs nasally now. Not all of them, and that's part of the training too, is to know when you can use what and where. So that's that. And then the rest of this in here is all stuff. There's my BVM, you know what I mean? I have fluid that we talked about, the normal saline for an IV. And then to check blood sugars, everybody's seen the glucometer, that's a micrometer, and this all just packs them together. And then on the back side, this one pouch is all Band-Aids, normal BLS, gotta stop the bleeding stuff. There's nothing else good over there. But back here is the intubation roll, and they discussed an advanced airway. I'll take it. I don't like taking it out because obviously stuff's not going right. Now this is just to put airways in, be it a difficult airway or this whole kit is meant for that. It's my laryngoscope that's specifically made.
They can,
specifically,
they'll go right in through your mouth.
This one's specifically made to adjust your airway in order to put a tube. These are the actual tubes that you've seen on any show. You see it sticking out of their mouth. That actually goes in. So then they're all different sizes, all different things. You talked about foreign bodies in the airway. I have tools so we don't lose our fingers. I have actual tools to do that rather than sticking your finger in there. And then I have OPAs like everyone else does. And then I have some securing devices that wrap around the head. That's purely for airway. That's one whole kit for airway. And then like you said, I have another kit for a needle crike, and I have another kit for chest decompressions, which are just little packages. That's why they're in there, which is actually, because it's meant to be an emergent thing, it's not meant to be a permanent thing. Ours are just needles, catheter needles that are they're just bigger than these needles, because it's not going to stay there. It's purely to get us to the hospital, and then they're going to take it out and fix it either surgically or whatever else for that. So that's just, and then this is actually not even all of it. I still have another whole drug box full of drugs that's in the truck. That's stored away, and in there, and in that box, which is secured behind 2 locks and a chain, are all my narcotics. Stuff for pain control, stuff for, and more of this. The state requires us to carry enough medications to do 2 full cardiac arrests. So I have
in that bag?
No, on my truck. So I have a drug box that's in my cabinet over there that I would never bring it into the house. This will treat everything in the house.
Okay.
We get into cardiac arrest and get into the truck, that box would come out of my truck and go into whatever truck I'm going into. Be it my own, be it rescue, Leominster's rescue, or wherever I go, my drug box will go with me. No need to bring it in the house. I carry everything I need in the house in this, so we don't have to carry it.
Use something out of the controlled box. Should run paperwork in those ones?
The FDA gets involved. It's really huge. Like I have a lot because I have to be able to treat 2 patients completely. So I have twice as much as an average person would ever take on one call. I carry twice that. And then that's the cardiac monitor that has the big screen on it. Mine's a little bit bigger than everyone else's. In essence, it's the same thing that you see on the wall inside the hospital. The big thing up on the wall, that screen that shows you how the heart rhythm is.
That thing, yeah.
This is it, except it's portable. So this does everything that the hospital does, except mine's portable. And then the pouches are like everything else, a pouch for everything. This is for EKGs for the heart. And this side is a blood pressure. And then this side is for defibrillation, so my defib pads are up here. And then when you turn it on, which, unless we put it on a person, you're just gonna see a dotted line. But when you turn it on, I have this screen that displays all of that information.
So let's say you got a guy on here and you've used a lot of stuff in the kit. You're getting him into the emergency room. The hospital can just take over from where you left off.
That's correct. That's
And
exactly
everything
right.
they have
We're in
would fit
essence.
with what you have.
That's right. Or they build adapters. Like technically, Leominster Fire's defibrillators are not the same as mine. This is a Zoll product, a company called Zoll. Theirs is for physio. But I carry adapters in my bag. I carry this adapter right here, so we don't have to peel off a set of defib pads and put on a new set. I just plug this in, and then theirs will plug directly into mine. So we just carry adapters like that. And then
You can see the huge difference in basic life support and advanced life. This is basically, he's a doctor on the road, for lack of a better way of describing
Like you can
it.
do anything but
He
surgery
does just
out
about
there, it
everything a
looks like.
doctor does out here, and
Right.
I mean, sometimes he'd have to call and actually get permission from a doctor, but for the most part, he's making all the decisions that a doctor, and when you pull into the hospital, you got 6 doctors and, 6 nurses and 2 doctors coming to help you with what he's making these decisions, and we're assisting him. So it's a huge difference between basic and advanced life support and what you can do.
And the numbers progressively go down on how many service everybody. In this area, we have MedStars here, so we have 6 medics on during the day, 6 paramedic trucks like this on during the day. But still, if you take it down a level, it's like they have 2 BLS ambulances that service how many people in the city of Leominster? 42,000 people. Well, fine, take that scenario, but there is, at any given time, and it happened on Thursday numerous times, at any given time there was one of me for 42,000 people in Leominster, not to mention we provide services to Lunenburg, Shirley, all the prisons, and there's one of me.
But there's actually, this is my contention, when you have shopping on Saturdays, and you have traffic on there, you're really not servicing 42,000 people, right? You're servicing 60,000. Correct. Because how many people, you don't say, are you a Leominster resident when you have a car accident on 13?
Right, it's just the number you can use.
Right, but there's on the weekend, there's 60,000 people, right?
Easy.
And you do Route 2, right?
Yes.
Route 2,
190. And like you said, typically they have 6 medics on, our 2 ambulance. I can't tell you how many times we've been calling Fitchburg or calling another town because we've used all those resources.
And it's hard to empty out our resources. We have a lot of resources on.
But it happens. And
so just the final thing in this for me is you drive into the hospital, go through what sort of is at your end, and you bring them in to the hospital.
Depending on the call, and we go right back to the cardiac arrest and pull up. On the way to the hospital.
But are you communicating with them?
Yes. On the way to the hospital, on any ambulance call you do, we have a radio in the back that's Central Mass. They're down in Hudson. We'll call them, you identify yourself, and tell them where you're going, and the priority, 1, 2, 3.
Now, do you have interface with your computer system at all? Not.
So it's all verbal.
It's all verbal.
Once we go through Hudson, they'll open a private line with the hospital that nobody else can listen on the radio. You scan it, you can't hear this. We'll tell the hospital a quick 2 minutes what the patient, what the problem is, what we've done, what the medics have done, and then they can determine in the time we're going there how to be ready for this. If it's just a basic call, typically you walk in the door and they're like, we'll be there in a minute. Cardiac arrest and ALS, you pull in, there's 3 or 4 nurses waiting for you.
They have a room already ready usually when we come in for some.
But even the hospital gets overtaxed a lot.
We've promoted and Leominster's graded it is that when they know it's a cardiac arrest, the dispatcher at Leominster and our dispatchers too have a chance. They'll call the ER so they actually know that much earlier that we're coming.
Typically, like as soon as we know we have a code or whatever, and we're actively doing CPR, our lieutenant will notify our dispatcher. So we have CPR in progress, notify the hospital. We'll ETA 5 minutes.
Drive right in and it's gone.
Then if we're all in the back, doing CPR, trying to get a line in, everybody's doing something, we don't have to worry about stopping and calling the hospital, wait till they come on. They already have the notification. We have to notify them one way or the other, whether it's through radio or direct call.
Because when it comes down, there's not a lot of information that's get passed. We have a pulse, or we don't.
Yeah, we generally have the
They're going to be ready
name,
for no matter what.
the age, hopefully, and CPR in progress. We have a 49-year-old male CPR in progress. That's all they need to know. That was traumatic or whatever, that'll all be figured out once we get there.
Once we do get to the hospital, they're waiting. We go right in the room. More often than not, a couple of us will actually stay in the room and help out, keep doing CPR until they've kind of filtered in one by one.
Yeah, it's common for one of us to be doing the compressions while they do this.
And then, you know, once that's done, you're talking 20 minutes or so before you get yourself down to service.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of controlled chaos.
Phenomenal. The other guys we
Most
hope
of
we never
everything
have to
we
see.
Right.
But it's nice to know this is here.
Absolutely.
But that the biggest question I think we get, people, there's so many things we could tell you about, and the biggest question we get is how come there's always 2 ambulances?
Exactly.
Well, how come there's a fire truck and 2 ambulances? Why do you need that many people for one person? You
Now
could
I
see
know.
just something like this, you need a lot of people. And like I said, a lot of times it's not in an office in a wide open room.
Right.
It's a lot of work, it's labor intensive.
The last one we had
Fire
was in a
accidents,
single
labor
bathroom. The last code I worked, he collapsed forward in a single bathroom. And it didn't come in as a code, so there was only 2 of us. Me and my partner found him like that. We managed to drag him out into the hallway and start
Yeah.
CPR before.
That's one of the worst things you run into is not knowing you're going for something like that.
Yep.
You think you're going for someone who doesn't feel good. Hey,
We
what's
get
going on?
called for
Where's
the
the
person.
patient?
We get called for the
You
person
really
coughing up
feel
blood.
Because now all of a sudden, you're there, yeah, we're there, we're doing our job, but we're waiting 5 minutes for our engine and 5 or 6 minutes for a medic. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
And if you've ever called for an ambulance, I mean, I've worked on the ambulance, I worked on it full time for 6 years. It feels like we're there in a flash. A couple weeks ago, my neighbor fell down, I called for an ambulance, and all I kept saying is, what the hell are these
I know.
guys? But when I looked after, it was 4 minutes. 4 minutes is a lifetime when you're hurt or someone your loved one's
When
hurt.
he had his heart attack, I mean, you were there in like 3.5 minutes, but that was the longest 3.5 minutes of my life.
The longest,
Right.
yep.
And that's another reason we send the truck, is
Yep.
the ambulance is coming from downtown. We've got 2 outlying stations, one in North Leominster, one in South Leominster. We're all EMTs, we've got equipment on the fire trucks. Whoever's closest, they're gonna go get there first. They can start something before that ambulance arrives.
Fascinating.
And then another reason why you all can often see some, more than one truck is disposition of the patient. We never know where we have patients that wake up but after being shocked are angry at us. They were
Wake
just
up.
doing
Out of that.
they were just doing CPR and now he's mad at us.
Yeah, it brought you back to life.
That was our last one.
Wow.
guy was-
Overdoses the same way. Once they give them the Narcan
don't wake
and
up
they come
happy.
to it, they wake up very, very angry.
They don't realize they were just about dead and you just saved their life. They're just mad at you.
Never thought of that.
But it's, I mean, it's not the person, it's
Right.
what's in their body and what they're going
Right.
through. So
Very impressive.
You guys are gonna be full gear on air. We're gonna stick Randy in the corner. You're gonna go look for it. Nobody puts Randy in the corner.
We make no promises. There are no.
What you do with it when you find him is up to you.
We should be fine, we're not.
Initially, we're gonna take the charge hose line up the stairs. You're gonna enter the room. Do a left-hand search, which means keep your left. The person on the nozzle keep their left hand on the wall. People behind him are gonna help with the hose. We're gonna search around the room. The second and third person will have tools. Use them to sweep the floor and try to find. It's gonna be smoked out up there. As you can see some of the blocks maybe down here.
So we have a calendar.
They'll let you know. It's dark out up there. Be fog, so you won't be able to see very much without your mask on, so it'll be difficult to communicate with each other. Give you a sense of what it's like trying to work in a fire situation. If for some reason you're not liking the mask or anything, be functionally breathable up there, you can take your face piece off. If you don't want to wear it, that's fine. You gotta get
Oh, I'm already.
if you want to fake your way through it, it's fine. Let's refine Randy.
Stop being nice.
I'm not in trouble, but somebody that you don't like might be.
Coming?
You can probably hold off for just a second.
How close do I stand?
You want to stay on arm length away.
Yeah, you want to basically be right here.
You want to be able to touch your shoulder.
Only keep my left hand on the wall, right?
Yep. And you never leave the nozzle going up. If you start to pull and it gets tight, you'll turn around and be like, hey, I need more line. And then melt it until it bends.
That's all, that's it.
Then bring it across. But you're always going to stay up.
See, I'm here to be your extra witness that you did not put anything heavy on your back.
All right, going here.
Go on air.
When you get repeated support.
All right, up and away. Yep. Every once in a while, stop and listen. Okay, keep going. You hear the move?
That's Randy right there.
You're on the other side of the door.
You gonna leave them?
Alright, are you okay? Can you walk?
Sure, I can walk.
Alright. Come back with us?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so what you're gonna do is drop the hose line, and you're gonna turn and follow it all the way out. Use your hands and feel it, and go right back the way you came.
You okay with it? Yeah. It doesn't matter.
I'd be fine.
Sorry, Bob.
Stretch my knees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you wait.
Look, Jim.
I didn't say anything else.
And when we're done, we'll take a look at these gauges, and we'll show you just how much air we breathe.
look funny without glasses.
Just pass it, right? They already go.
Feel funny with glasses.
I can wear my glasses under the mask
You can?
because of these.
Yeah.
Yours are.
You get that task bench shot going on? Wiggle a little bit.
Jay Harrell, sir.
What's up, sis? Wiggle. When you get to the top, we're gonna crawl.
Just go back to the corner. And up through the loop. Find the door, go through the door. There you go.
We get right in and crawl, okay?
There it is, you can. Or at least down low there.
Or at least that.
As long as you're on the hose, right?
Okay, good. If you're on the wall, the hole, you're good. Yep, keep going. You guys are doing good. And now you're looking for windows and doors. You're going to stay low, always feeling on the left side. As soon as you feel the door, you want to go in that area and check it out. Water's coming again.
Water's coming.
Yep. So you feel the door? Stay low and going right into that room. Let your partner know there's a door and you're going in. Okay. Do the same.
Guys, take a moment, stop and listen.
Yeah, you want to go on, you go for the line's right below you.
Igor's in here.
Okay? Then you can go in if you want.
All right. The drag him out. We're not going to make you do that today. So right now, we're going to turn around this hose line and follow the hose line out. Leave the hose line right where it is. We're going to crawl back. How we doing? Good. You follow it right out. Okay, rescue Andy. Watch your head right there.
That door you're on.
Okay, right, we have the top of the stairs now, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down on your butt. You wanna go down the stairs, one step at a time, feeling with your feet first, and then you're compromised. So you're gonna kinda go down.
Turned out and collapse. Are they all out? So you want
Yes,
to
they're all
slide down
out.
and check.
Do you need this?
I want to check on the red.
Stop it. Stop it.
Wow. See how that works for you.
But leave my shoes on?
Yeah, you can, yeah, your shoes should slip right through that.
Okay, I can't ever be a firefighter.
You have 1 minute.
Are you
That's
serious?
the standard, 1 minute to get.
1 minute to get all this
That's the whole thing, yeah. And that includes your CBA, that demonstration we
If
had.
it took you a minute, you have guys in the truck saying, "Let's go!"
You don't have trouble with me. I know, that's why I read all those books.
So we're going to CPR, it's going to be in the background back here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see if this, I just want to make sure this. Cool, you're all set.
It's heavy though, huh? Material-wise?
The gear with pants?
A lot of weight, even this is easy.
Yeah.
You have a coat? I got.
I didn't get a coat yet. Oh,
I have tools.
oh wow, look at all kinds of fun.
How was it?
Fun.
Good.
Yeah.
You might swim in that, though.
You guys, are you going to the station and see where you're at?
I guess, yeah.
Pretty good, huh? Get something a size smaller?
Maybe. I can't tell if it's just the
Yeah,
it's bulky.
Well, you got all the stuff hanging off. You don't have to be walking around with it. Yeah, it's a little bit later already. Yeah, these have just got the clips. This is older gear.
So you every call you put this on.
Fire calls, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ambulance call.
Box, no. The guys on the ambulance calls are just regular street gear.
Any other trucks going out? You're putting this on before you even get on the truck, right?
Exactly. Or now with the 4-door cabs, we can get dressed as we're going to the call. What a lot of guys will do, they'll put the pants on, put that up, hop in the truck, and then they'll finish getting dressed on the way to the call.
Oh, God, yeah, we did.
But yeah, I mean, we gotta get off the truck ready to go. I mean, if, it's part of the job. I mean, during the summertime, it gets real hot and humid, we'll have to dress down a little bit, and we'll get a little bit more
I'm a large, so.
Yeah, that is just a ratchet system, you can
Okay.
spin that,
Right, tighten.
Oh, wow.
So start on the big side. And then tighten it down.
Yeah. So what, righty, tighty? It moves a little bit, but that feels all right.
You don't want it too tight either.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Is that too tight? Or is that good?
Nope, that's good.
That's good.
pair of gloves,
That's probably okay.
pair of gloves.
Neat.
I'll tell you, that
Okay, I'm fine.
back is impressive.
I know, they're good, yeah.
The building's looking good.
We're going to car fire, I think.
Oh, all business.
Yeah, they had one fire.
Very good.
Still doing a lot?
Yeah. This is the first weekend we shut
So I
down.
take it like when you guys are
Probably
getting dressed, you don't meet each other.
A lot of military still?
That's all right, we practice.
Research and development and stuff.
Hello?
You see this?
How about automobile industry stuff?
We picked up,
Yep.
one Camaro lenses
Yeah.
now.
So the people
Yes,
that
right, right.
auto execution will go to
Yeah?
search and rescue.
You look good as a firefighter.
No, auto extrication will come down to the search and rescue.
Right now, I feel like I'm about 50 pounds overweight.
Yeah, and then the car file will go to the
Good.
extrication.
So business is
CPR
good.
is
Yes,
set
it
it
is.
up.
I've been talking with
Yeah.
about
Yep.
coming down some night.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
Yep.
And she said some night, if you're free, maybe the three of us go down
Yeah.
there.
Anyone want to work,
Split the money, how we did it. Anytime you might be interested.
Take on that whole discussion.
Now, this is a shot for the paper.
Unfortunately, she was really good. Sometimes, I think that was a communication issue.
Those things are, we can take.
Some of us have the same problem.
I know, can you believe, I wore the helmet once and look what happened. Got it right off the top.
Am I gonna be shiny after?
That's a little better.
You need tools. My pockets are full.
Mine too.
You was dead, but the others were.
Yeah. The city doesn't function that way. Politics in general don't function that way,
They're
right?
trying to run like a business.
Yeah, exactly. Lean and mean.
Lean and mean. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's.
That was about 30 years ago.
Where do you guys come from?
Ambulance.
Stay in the helmet.
Not, yeah, we get that out of the way. So
This is warm, huh?
Yeah.
And we're not even in a fire.
we're not even outside.
Oh, you will be one shortly.
You guys need water?
I'm all set.
I'd like to take one with me if I can.
Yeah, so this.
Got no
I don't want
pocket.
the extra weight.
We got enough pockets.
I got no pockets.
Right in your pants pocket. Right on the side.
Right.
here, so you know. I'll take you later on. You want to get up here and like by yourself? All right, we'll try. How's David doing? Okay, this is the car fire station, okay? What you're gonna do, what you're not going to do is have an SCBA on, which we always do. Okay, breathing apparatus, you normally get off the truck with that on. Infold.
How much that weigh?
Well, we'll let you feel it right now. You tell me. Okay?
I want to put it on. I want, after they did, I just want to feel it. I don't want to use it. I just want to feel what it.
Well, you're gonna have it on later. Oh, you already did, didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep the ambulance.
Okay.
So we will, but I just want to.
I'll put it on the truck, all right? In this scenario, though, you won't be wearing it. Okay. But normally you would in a car fire with a boot.
Oh, you got the.
That just shows.
Those straps down underneath that?
Yeah, you want to tighten the belt up as much as you can. So make sure they're right here. Full tabs. There's another side of this.
It's like backpacking.
Really
You're
feel it
supposed
in
to
here.
have
You don't
it
have
so
to. You don't have to.
your weight isn't in your shoulders. Please keep it right. Okay, so normally you're wearing that in your car fire because of some of the things, the tops that are going off in the fire. In this scenario, these two gentlemen are going to bring you in. One person's going to have the air line and the nozzle. You're going to have the propane fire first in the back of the vehicle, which is simulating a house fire extending into the car fire. You hit that fire first, put that out, then you go in, there'll be a fire inside the car. You put that out, the second person will have an overhaul, which shows what you have to do, make sure the fire's out, mixing it up, making sure the fire's out. Always approach the car on an angle. Reason being, some of the cars at one time had some pistons and stuff like that can get hot, could pop, blow the bumpers off, take you out from these if you don't. Either don't ever approach from the front, don't ever approach from the rear. Always from the south. Guys, anything?
What about tank blowing off? Gas tank. Is that a real possibility? Do you have to?
25 years I've never seen it. I've seen some big car fires fully involved. I never saw a gas tank.
Gas is so rich that if you took a match, now don't do this. It's
You
so
wouldn't light
rich
it.
that you threw a lighter or you threw that flame into that gas tank, it's not going to explode. It's
Now,
the vapors are what burn.
Some of the new cars have these polycarbonate tanks. Is there a possibility they burn through or something like that? Or there's a hole in the gas tank that burns through and the gas spills out and ignites? That's a real possibility. As far as an explosion goes, slim to none. But you could have a massive release of gas that can go.
You'll get the tire to blow. Yeah. And you'll be thinking the whole thing's going.
Really?
Yeah, those are.
And they do pop.
Those are exciting.
I know there's the jaws of life thing in terms of the batteries, but you got these hybrids, right? They're loaded with these gigantic batteries.
Right. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Yep. Huge voltage, fire. The fire's got to be an issue with that burning. Battery
That's all new
packs.
classes.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about electric cars and water?
Propane, fire vehicles on natural gas.
Yeah.
Like the bus that went on the bridge in Woburn last week and took out the tanks on top of the back of the building. Those two cylinders on top of the truck, on top of the bus, are as long as this truck.
Wow.
So they're carrying a considerable amount of propane. The other thing they're having out there now is you've got ethanol coming on board. There's going to be more and more ethanol. And the problem with that is we can't muster enough foam in this whole county to put out a fire in a tank. So it's going to burn. All right?
It's a higher burn than gasoline? Like,
It has a different extinguishing method. Okay? A lot of ABC would be nice, but you just can't put that much in one place. So it's going to be kind of a control, let burn type situation. That's one of the new things in the market. Fire service, I teach at the academy on a regular basis. Fire academy, fire service is still learning how we're going to act. We're in the school for this. Act see how we're gonna truly fight this fire. Right now, it's in the infant stage, so it's a new monster out there that we had not witnessed before. So that's gonna happen. Now you've got
District foam tanker.
For ethanol?
So that's one of the things it's one of the other issues that's out there.
How they've been trucking that stuff around. Ethanol. I mean, I know they mix it with gasoline, but if they're doing pure ethanol, they're potentially trucking it around, right?
Yes. Biodiesel is not regulated. You can make it in your house, burn it in your vehicle, not even take it back to your truck, and you will never know it's there. That's another one that's out there. And the other one is people have propane cylinders and do not understand that. Like you put in the back of your pickup truck and you ride around town, this thing decides to leak, it's going to leak. It's going to convert it to 2,000 degrees when it's hot. Right? They had a fire in California, what they call it, soup. Tank blew after the so you just got to know what's coming. I retired a few years ago. I still play with this stuff from time to time because I'm in the constructor business. They're facing things I had never seen before. Only we had I had a class yesterday. I said,
okay, where did you go? On this one, now remember, the SCBA, when it weighed, the hose line, once it's fully charged, is going to weigh some pounds too. Plus it's going to be pressure. You're going to be fighting against it. Alright, so this is going to bring you in, really structure how to move forward into it. Alright, that all the okay, who's going to be in the who's going to have the time?
Did I tell you about the drill at the hospital the other day? No. I talked to that boy. Yes. It was 4 hours.
Really?
I figured he was going to tell you, that's why I didn't tell you. I got stuff coming up in the fall.
Okay. So what's this thing here?
Cars on fire. Yeah, that's these guys.
We know what you want to write.
Okay, all right. Grab a hold of that line. Now you gotta remember. Now you gotta grab on really tight. Hang on, right? What you don't want to do is open and shut this real quick. Okay? Because this is gonna push it back. Open slow, close forward. Okay? Now, this whole frog grab on with where you rotate it. It's gonna change the pattern. It's gonna open up a wide fog or a narrow straight. As much as you want. When you're going at this, you're gonna want it at a fog. Okay? So we turn it all the way this way. Water first, we'll show you about the way you want it, and then we'll go after it. And when we're getting up front, we get to the car, check it out. Get it to the pattern you want it. You got it down. Normally a pipe right down. This is you'll see as they start moving forward, they're doing. Here comes the water. What you're doing is you're going to take the pressure that's coming into you, you're backing her up as well. So the hose line is actually, if it goes back like this, you stop the pressure better. Okay? So open that up nice and slow. Long slow. I know. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to pay attention to you. You got the batting up. As soon as we go out. I don't want to get through. Now, like you said, you want to come in at an angle, right?
ready, ready for water.
Say, charge the line.
Is that the pipe guy?
No, that's the pipe guy.
He's giving us the water.
Right? Pipe one never gives us enough.
Never ever.
Even if it's
Great, how do you do it? You got one there?
yeah,
I'm out, right?
you be out.
You ready? All right. Here we go.
Charge the line.
One step at a time. Water right in.
Nice jacket. All right, not everybody has this good. Hopefully that's one of their backyard.
We're gonna bring the hose back to where it was, so somebody else can have it.
The best couple minutes. About 2-minute mark. I got about another 30 seconds to go. I'm burning. That's it.
I'm impressed though, Chuck. You haven't even melted the plastic yet.
I know, it's amazing. That's why I asked if it was real fire.
Yeah, it's got scar inside it. It's a satin with a plastic.
Yeah. It's really sad.
You're really third guy on the line. So you're back.
I would rather have they step forward. No, just kind of preference. Yeah. And when you're gonna do, when she has that knob, right? If she opens it up, it's gonna be a little backward. And you're doing a little back, so she would have that nozzle, and I'd have my shoulder right into her like this.
I got it.
Leaning this way, so if she comes back, she's not going in.
Now think about which side are you more dominant, your right or your left? Your right. So you're gonna want to be.
I'm righty. That's where I am. Ready? So now you remember the right for the knob.
You take the line.
All right. So you're gonna.
Now remember, it's gonna kick back. You just have to drag the line behind you.
Nice and smooth, right? Not quick, but nice and smooth. And then this is going to adjust your path. The way out is going to be a nice straight stream, like if you were coming from far away, or you're not. It's going to go back to like a medium fog. Not all the way. Right? So now he's going to like, when he likes it, you're going to need water. You would tell your pump operator, charge the line. Yeah. Want to give them a little so they can just feel it? They got to set the pattern. Right up to get the towel wet.
Am I supposed to backwards? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was running away.
Right? You feel that? How the pressure?
It'll be a little bit more practical. If you feel like you're gonna start losing it,
the line.
Don't worry, I had your bag.
You're fine.
Yep. What you have is you're taking the yeah.
Push the line forward.
Oh, yeah.
Charge line.
Never give up that nozzle.
Right there, you just gotta overhaul the car.
This is the one that we left. We have the bigger one in the back. We had a longer way to go. We needed more water because the fire's going really good. We were 2.5. And when you time that, there's obviously more water flowing. If you were on it alone, you'd be going back. You definitely need some action. 2.5 fine after digging.
Right, this is an inch and
Plus it's
3/4.
heavy to move.
That's
That's
how
how you're going
the
back.
one that's feeding the truck. We can run with a nozzle on.
It's a weird sensation.
You want a third one, your own fire? I'll give you your own fire. I'll give you a fire right now.
Now we'll go back.
Like I said, that's an inch and 3/4. This is 2.
Big difference, big.
Yeah.
Lot bigger of a hose, lot bigger kick.
Never heard us say go big or go home? That's it right there. All right, get
So
over
your term on the nozzle. Roll the back. You're right behind it.
He's a big guy, but you still didn't want to shoulder right into the back. Leaning right into it. If anything, it's just a security.
Like this.
Somebody right behind you. Next thing you push it back, so you start line.
Tell me to watch out.
Just,
That's
when you're standing and you're going to open it.
You don't feel.
Right? Right. Get good stance, so that way once
All right,
I gotta be careful not to fight with him or
See that stick?
Back up.
It's coming back at you.
If it flares up, you just back away so you can open it. Looks like it's up, right? Okay, back to the Hey, Billy. All right.
Yeah, it does. It has a weird smell. Doesn't go away. It sucks. All right, you guys want to stand back?
You want to face Dave?
Yep. These plastics are gonna fly. Yeah.
You face it towards the trees.
So, I throw. You guys? Stand back.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Okay. You guys gonna want to block your ears too.
This will show the durability of the hydraulics tool.
Yeah. I'm supposed to say fire in the hole, but my finger got
Right,
Your finger got twitchy?
finger got twitchy.
You got a twitchy finger?
I meant to say fire in the hole. Now you see that plastic go flying? Just imagine that going up in your face. In your face. You have to see that?
Yes. That's definitely YouTubeable.
Yeah. We get a lot of calls saying that the car's on fire and someone's trapped in.
Now. Let's deploy at 200 miles an hour in your face.
Right, so you see what we had to go through to get someone out of a vehicle. There was only 3 of you. Plus, from here, and back inside the car, anyway. So you got to realize that to respond to a car accident, or like I said, we're responding with the rescue, the deputies showing up, the engine company showing up, and the ladder showing up. Now, all the people are on those vehicles. You've got 6 or 7 people. You need them to set up. Everybody knows their job beforehand. Everybody's grabbing the cribbing, the stretcher, the backboard, everything's being put in place. So as soon as we can get inside that vehicle, we can stabilize the patient and start working on the car to get them out.
You can think of all the different jobs from a simple car wreck as well. So you're pulling up on scene and checking, are there power lines down? Is there fuel there? How many victims do I have? Did any get ejected? Are there little kids under the car? I've got to set the cribbing, pull the jaws, mitigate the airbag hazards that are in the car. Oh, and by the way, if those deploy on you, you know what they used to use in those? Sodium azide and rocket fuel. That's what's potentially hitting you in the face.
So you get an older car with it.
So it's...
Yeah, those older cars would be up to 300 miles an hour. Versus the low ones at 200 miles an hour.
There's a million things to think about. It's not just a 2-man job.
Right, and then one of the things that you want to do too is, you notice before we break any glass or cut any glass, we cover the patient with a sheet or a blanket. As we tell them beforehand, every step we do, we're telling them beforehand so that they don't get more nervous or anxious and want to try and get out of there. The first thing we don't want is to have to do more damage to their spine. So every procedure we do, if we're going to say, we're going to cut the window, we're going to break the glass next to you, we're going to do this and that, the noise and everything else, what you're expecting. Even if they're unconscious, you still want to talk to them because they still can hear you. That's our main thing is safety and patient care.
And not to mention, after an accident like that, a lot of times you may have something more severe than a person sitting there comfortably. So in other words, family members in precarious positions next to them, missing appendages, things like that. So it's not always rosy.
Right, and if the patient is conscious and alert, the first thing you ask them, are you the only one in the vehicle? Was there anybody in here with you? Yeah, I had my baby strapped in the back.
Well, there's no baby in the
There's
back
no
seat.
baby there. One of the things you're gonna do too at an accident scene, especially if it was a rollover, and it's sitting up like this or even on its side, you're gonna look underneath the car, see if there's somebody underneath it. They got ejected, tossed in the air, and then the car rolled back down on top of them or over them.
Or every kid with an iPod nowadays listening to the loudest music on the planet doesn't know there's somebody about to run them over.
So I mean, it's a scene assessment as you're pulling up a lot of times. You know, sizing it up and everything. That's what you want to do.
One last thing on the airbags. Airbags are designed not to deploy from 0 to 8 miles an hour. They're designed to deploy anywhere from 10 to 12 and beyond. The older 90 cars are actually higher. They don't go up to 14 miles an hour on the 1990 cars. For 2000 and above,
sometimes they won't deploy at all. The bumper was never hit, but the sensors in the bumper.
Sensors in the bumper.
There's usually two sensors.
Right.
Two sensors, both sensors have to hit at the same time. They're like pendulums, best way to describe them. Both sensors have to hit at the exact same time. You hit one and the other, they won't go off. It's all safety features built in.
And cars now are designed to accordion. The whole front of the car. We call it the A-pillar. It's right where the windshield is. That's the A-pillar. So they're designed to accordion from the bumper to the A-pillar, and then from the rear bumper to the rear tire. They're made to take up the shock. Everything's plastic. It's not like your old 88 Delta, you know, where it was all steel and you had a 20 mile
up in the driving seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have any questions? Well, grab some water and relax for a few minutes. We'll be moving fairly soon. Yeah, take your coat off. Get some play around on the ground.
Thank you. You guys head over to
What do you think? Now, good. Nice and hot. Yes, one yet? But I want to get the whole thing.
Feel the big experience.
All right. Like I said, like I was saying, this is inches 3/4. This is the 2.5. All right. That's the 2.5 with a vlog style, like you just had, or a 2.5 with a straight streak. Okay. And there's no water in that. Pick this one up. That's full of water.
So this on there
Connects to that. For a really big time. Did you see 5th Street when it was going good?
Yeah.
I sat outside of 5th Street in the street with a 2.5 like this, and it wasn't even making a dent. That's how big that was going.
So the difference, the 1 3/4, you're looking at about 175, 150, 175 gallons a minute. Right here, you're looking at about 250 gallons a minute. A lot more weight, so it takes a lot more manpower to maneuver it. As you can see, dragging the line to the car. If that would have been a 2.5, it would have been twice as much work.
Now, if you're, let's say you're doing a forest fire, how much line are you going to have laid out? Where you're up, a remote sort of scenario.
Depends on how big.
200 feet, 100 feet?
Depends on how big.
1,000 feet?
500,000.
500,000?
How deep?
Smaller
How deep you're in?
diameter hose.
You'll go smaller.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a lot smaller. A little bit bigger than a garden hose.
Oh, for that type of thing.
Yeah.
But if you were going to a fire this one, you probably have 100, 200 feet out of the size?
Yeah.
Unlock relays like that.
So that's another thing when we do the size up when we get off the truck. The lieutenant would look at, how far we got to go. Am I going to reach it with this line, or am I going to have to go to the back to the big one?
And then you got a number of lines, right? But how many can you run of those different line sizes?
Depends on how much water you have. Depends on the hydrant, on the water main.
Because each one of these flows 250 gallons a minute.
And you have to size up what the hydrant there goes.
You'll know as soon as you open it up. They already went there. Gets water to your truck.
They're gonna do it right now. All groups have gone through the fire?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where he has the static pressure that's coming from the hydrant. Right? It's pump pressure. And then as he starts to use lines, the different lines come off. As the drop comes, you can tell. Then you get down to zero pressure. You don't want to ever get down to zero.
Right.
Then you press up in the negative when you do cavitation.
So
It all depends.
this line starts getting soft on you. And you pull more water up and you get.
Then you
So a lot of times it looks like the pump operator just standing around doing nothing.
That was one of our problems on Blossom. You would think coming off of West Street was going to be a big main.
Is that for the exception? I mean, is it pretty consistent, pretty good everywhere? You know, you get pockets there and there?
Yes,
Dead end,
if you're on the far end of it,
it's not a
dead end.
big problem.
No.
You mostly have the water you need. Now, what do you carry on a truck that carries on water?
They have tanks inside the truck.
Yeah, how much is that?
Every truck is different. So that's 500
Gallons.
Right.
Which
250 gallons a minute.
4 minutes.
It's gone. Of water.
Right.
You got a 500 gallon tank for 4 minutes. You got.
So that's first thing you do. Maybe you run out, you burn your 500 gallons up.
Usually we start by running out
You're
of tank
hoping
water.
engine-
Second
you're hoping
two
the
engine
second
will
two
come in,
engine
pick up the hydrant, and we'll bring you a hydrant line. Hopefully
You'll drop the line at the hydrant.
Right. That
Start
guy
off-
was
And the second
right
end,
away
right,
with
with your tank, yep. And then the second engine coming in is doing the hydrant, hooking up your hydrant line to it.
And a lot depends on
You're hoping it's within
what you got.
it's within that 3-4 minutes.
right.
You know, I mean, it's because it's going to take, you're not flowing right away. You know, we got to get off the truck. We've got to grab the line and we've got to get it straight out right now. We got to, mask up, make our way. We like to get as close as we can before we charge it. The body is, move to the dry, move the dry charge, and then we pump the water. So that whole time there is helping out.
And originally at the scene, you're usually really working.
Oh, we like to
We wash them, hang them, dry,
just to make sure they're cold. And then we mark the tag.
Yeah, they get hose tested every year.
Yeah.
You have any water?
We have one. I have one over there.
Now we got a break.
Pretty impressive with battery retro.
That's what we need.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. Take back.
You're gonna see.
Right?
You're
And
gonna
you're
see
not
the
doing
difference.
this.
Now you're gonna see the difference. Bring the spreaders with the hydraulic coming from the heavy rescue, and then you're gonna switch to the battery operated ones. The hose lines aren't pulling you, or the weight isn't balanced.
The batteries are good. They're comfortable.
They're balanced.
That's something we're looking to go to.
Batteries.
Yeah.
We don't have that. This is Tom Roof's Firematic. He's been nice enough to do that.
What you gotta realize with on the hydraulic ones, you're connected to the truck. So if you're going from the cutters to the spreaders, you gotta shut the valves off up there, release the pressure down here, disconnect, and then reconnect. And then someone's gotta be at that truck all the time. They have to give the signal.
Right, but can you run those things? I mean, what do you have to have that vehicle to run those?
No.
You can run those on any fire truck.
No. Really? We have them on the ladder as well.
You need the hydraulic ones or
What about an
battery?
engine?
They have time.
They can't. So if you go to a scene and he's there first, and he needed, he can't.
Jaws?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Jaws.
Jaws
He
that
can't,
we have
but he
now?
could run a battery one.
Yeah.
Right.
Put a battery on it like back in the car.
Right, exactly.
They're expensive.
How much? More,
We need like $40,000 all set up.
To totally convert, or for one?
Well,
For one truck.
One set.
One set.
One set.
And see, right now we have jaws on ladder 1, ladder 2, and the heavy rescue.
Now ladder 2 is a reserve.
Would it make sense to leave those as it is for now, and as part of the conversion, start to spread them out on more vehicles, or that doesn't really buy you much? In other words, ladder 1, ladder 2, and this thing's always at the scene anyway.
If
You wouldn't have the manpower.
If
run
an
it,
engine
I
company pulled up and the car was on
to
fire,
have it on our ladder.
their concentration first is to put the car fire out,
Or take care of the patient.
take care of the patient, and then
But who goes to a car accident where you're going to use this thing?
car accident, you're going to have the rescue, the deputy, an engine company, and the ladder. Because the ladder carries all the.
He's got the.
We're the wrecking tools.
We're the wrecking tools. We're the ones that tear apart the vehicle to get in.
Everybody has their own job, and it's all pre-laid out.
No, what I was trying to get at was, is the battery thing give you flexibility to spread it across more vehicles? That's really not the big thing. It's
No,
just
the manpower is the big thing.
Yeah, it's to be able to have more manpower and more.
You'll see, we could jump off the ladder with those and go right to the car without getting all set up and leaving a guy at the truck now because he's got a.
Usually I'm the driver of the ladder, so I would stay with the ladder truck. So when they have to change, disconnect the jaws from the hydraulic system, I can shut the valve off. They can leave the pressure at their end, switch the tools that they want, and then I have to be there to turn it back on.
We've got 2 hooked up. We've got 2 lines on the new ladder. We've got 2 lines, right? So we've got the jaws and the spreaders hooked up at all times.
At all times.
But if you wanted to switch, we have a RAM that we can spread things apart. You would have to switch one of those over.
How you doing?
This is Tom Rufia from Firematic. We get a lot of our equipment from him. He's been nice enough to bring down his battery operated stuff so we can.
They're our number 1 vendor for life saving.
Yeah.
I'm also I'm a firefighter in Lancaster, fire instructor at the fire academy as well. So I'm like in the business as opposed to just being in sales. What's up, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
We're going to be working on the white car. Okay, we've got car accidents. We're going to pretend that somebody's in it. The junkyard stripped all the seats out. We had to go down and get a seat to put the patient in this one. What we're going to do is, first thing you're going to do as you're approaching the scene, and let's say you're in a vehicle, you make sure that there's no wires across it. There's no fluids leaking from it. Gasoline, antifreeze, oil, or anything like that.
That's almost always the case, though, isn't it? Some
Right.
sort of fluid.
So we have to mitigate that when we get in.
So that's one of the, wires are across it, you do nothing, you call back the fire alarm, say we need mass left down here, we have power lines across the vehicle. You're not going to go to the vehicle. The patient's got to stay in there. If they try and get out, they're going to get electrocuted.
They're not
You can go over
grounded,
to it.
so essentially they're safe. If we contact the vehicle, we complete that circuit, we're toast.
We're going to fry. Usually the power lines are, about 13,000 volts, I think, coming through them, so you're not going to survive. Okay? You're going to, let's say you're going to pull up, you size it up, there's no power lines, no fluids leaking. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab the cribbing, you're going to stabilize the vehicle. So it doesn't take off. In car accidents, 99.9% of the time, the vehicle is still in gear and it's running. So you're going to chalk the wheels. You're going to chalk the wheels to make sure that the car doesn't take off on you unexpectedly, okay? Usually somebody, we all have, everybody that's on the trucks and the ladder, the rescues, they all know what they have to do. We've done this hundreds of times. Someone's going to be going over there trying to pry the hood open or get it open and cut the battery wire. Okay, that's one of the, make sure the patient's stabilized, cut the battery wires, because it takes about 3 minutes to totally disconnect the capacitors inside the airbags. So while everybody else is grabbing, cribbing, the jaws, getting set up, making sure the patient's all right and all set, that's discharge.
Lancaster?
We're gonna And then
LFD.
Then everybody, you know, gonna say we're gonna take this side of the car off the doors to get out to the patient.
So what is first aid being applied to the patient after after the car?
As soon as we know the car is stabilized and safe.
You say
First, we'll have somebody. We'll have one of the ambulance guys in the car with the patient.
Somebody will scroll through the window, do a quick assessment, trauma assessment, everything else, find out what we're dealing with. Yeah, I got secondary entrapment, his foot's tucked, you know, under the pedal. What do we have to do? And he initially starts to get vitals and start to do patient care inside the car. Everybody else's job is to take that car and remove it from around the bullfront.
Once the guy inside the car puts traction on that neck, he don't let go. His hands are on that guy's head.
Really?
He stays there always with it.
And he's
Because
the
if
boss.
he shifts his body, and he's talking to the patient all the time, he's telling him what we're going to be doing each step of the way. If we're going to break glass, we're going to cover him with a sheet or a blanket. So, you know, he's not saying, am I dying? You know? No, you're going to tell him.
You're going to hear a loud noise. It's going to be the glass breaking. You're going to feel it against the blanket. You know, he gives him the update as we're going along, so that he kind of knows what's going on. You're going to hear something. We're cutting the door off. You're going to hear some noises. You're going to hear some creaks. You know.
Let him know each step of the way what's going on around him. So he doesn't panic.
There's 1,000 things in the vehicle to be knowledgeable about. Where could airbags deploy? Where are the electrical sources? What's going to move when he pops the door down here? Do I need to get myself and the victim clear first?
So these cars have 7, 8 airbags.
Some have
Up to 13. There's in today's vehicles, based on the fact that VW and Audi came out with a couple in the last year and Ford came with a center bag, there could be 16 airbags in any of 18 different positions domestically.
They're under the dash now. They're in the seats. They're center console.
Side curtain. Floor bags, believe it or not.
This is what we're worried about as firefighters, is this yellow loom. Yellow loom to us is airbags. If there's an orange cable, that's high voltage, that means it's a hybrid. So we stay away from this, and we stay away from the orange cable. Because the hybrids can have up to 150,000 volts running through that cable.
That's one of our things too, is we put the battery, the regular battery, a 12-volt battery on the car. If it's a hybrid, we try and get to the battery pack usually in the trunk, and we pull the main.
Is there any sort of these hybrid that can
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that's sort of being happening to you guys?
Yes. There's generally 40 plus different hybrids out there right now. Next year it'll be 60. Okay. And if you were to look at, for instance, a 2012 version Camry gas versus 2012 Camry hybrid, they're in the exact same package. So we don't know that there's a hybrid there, especially if the trunk's gone at 3 in the morning.
Right. Outside,
so what we have as firefighters are procedures that we follow. So our SOGs on a daily basis mean we show up, we chalk the vehicle. Because when a hybrid's sitting in neutral or when it's sitting in a red light, what's it sound like? Nothing. It's like a golf cart. So we chalk the wheels. That takes us to step 1. 2, the person that scrolls in does 2 things with that car. First is park. And the second would be what?
Ignition.
Turn it off in one form or fashion. So by turning it off, believe it or not, on the hybrids and all electrics, it takes the power that's in those cables, sucks it right to the battery in the back, whether it's a nickel metal hydride or a lithium. So when it sucks it back, we're a little bit safer. And then what we got to do from then on is find a 12 volt, because a lot of people don't realize even those battery powered cars have 12 volts. So to answer your question, if we follow our general procedures, we're safe in those vehicles. But if we sit there and we try and learn 40 different vehicles and how to power them down appropriately, by next year we've got 20 more to learn and the other ones have been revamped.
There should be some sort of indicator when you go right up that's really obvious, but you start cutting through the cable, through the rocker or something.
It's the first thing you do is when you start to, before you make a cut, if you're going to expose, you're going to make a cut like on a pillow or something like that, you have to have somebody inside and open it up.
Yeah, strip all that stuff out of there so you can see if it's
pull the plastic.
Yep, comes out really
We got to open that up, because
easy.
inside you could have seatbelt pretensioners, which are gas-filled cylinders. That's like a bomb.
So you don't,
okay?
We have to strip stuff out. You don't do it on your own car, so you don't know how easy it comes out, but it does, pops right out. So that's what we do. So we stick to that procedure and we're safe. And believe it or not, all of the newer hybrids and electrics, if they have an SRS deployment, they automatically power themselves down. So we're not worried about cutting a big orange cable anymore or anything like that, but we need to know every time we're going, it could be a hybrid, man. It's like, holy cow. You just can't tell by
batteries are
looking.
hidden everywhere.
Right.
Trunk, under the back seat, in fenders, under the wheel well. You don't know where it is. You're searching for the the low power, basically, hybrid, 12 volt.
You dig around.
That's why we disconnect the batteries, because if an airbag didn't deploy, we disconnect the battery, but it takes 2 to 3, 4 minutes for the capacitor inside that airbag to energize down.
So our biggest initiative is to cut that 12 volt.
Cut that 12 volt right away, because then that
the
process of the electricity is starting to dissipate, and it'll be safe somewhat if the airbag didn't go off.
Now you guys get to hear the airbag go off, right?
Yeah. Imagine that in your face right here.
Well, think about it too. Now here's the idea. The airbag, it works with pretensioners. The airbag's actually designed to slow you down. It's not designed to stop you cold. It's got a vent on the side. So your frontal bag is 10 inches of bag that comes out that slows you from 65 miles an hour, or if it's a head-on 130, to 0 in 10 inches. So the stuff that's in there is powerful. Back in the day, it was sodium azide, which was used in rocket fuel. Now there's 20 different chemicals and 20 different companies. But it comes out about 200 miles an hour, and it meets you in the face. So usually, if somebody was belted correctly and the car did the job, the majority of the injuries we find in these vehicles are minor traumas because of airbags.
Usually abrasions on the face,
Abrasions,
like
scratch, bruises, cuts.
a road burn.
Correct.
The legs, well, how about the legs underneath? You guys get a lot of broken legs underneath it.
Correct, yep. That's what we call a secondary entrapment. So a primary, and we get on scene, one of the guys will call up, hey, I got primary entrapment, which means I can't open a door and get you out. Secondary entrapment is when somebody scrolls through the window and starts to look at them, well, I've got them trapped under the dash a wee bit. So in other words, there's a frontal impact, you push the dash down on their knees, and we have to do what we call a dash displacement or dash roll, and get the dash and the steering column and everything else off of that person so that we can free their legs.
Car's better now?
What's that?
Crushing, yes.
Safer cars. Let me
the
ask you
engine's
something.
not in the driver's seat anymore.
Right. Every vehicle you see in a commercial on TV, the biggest thing they always highlight is 5-star safety rating, 5-star safety rating. So all the materials are more available and more price friendly to people now, but it's counterintuitive. It's harder for us to get them out.
The rollover.
Yes, sir.
The rollover, right? Yep. SUVs, they do this and that.
Well, you also got to realize when there's a rollover, and you're approaching the scene, let's say it's sitting up like this, when you approach the scene, you got to look under the vehicle. How many people were in that vehicle?
Did it land on somebody? Is there a
Somebody
child
got thrown
underneath
out,
it walking down the street?
and then, or somebody walked it rolled over, hit him, and it landed on him. And it could be on its side. Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, just the last thing I wanted to mention, one of the initiatives that we're working on here in the city right now is to upgrade the current cache of equipment that we have.
Yeah.
So the jaws for years and years, as you can see, are a set of jaws over there. The jaws are the spreaders, the ones that open. Okay. They're tethered to the truck by a hydraulic hose that runs off a pump on the apparatus. So part of what we're trying to do right now is take that current cache of equipment, replace it with more powerful equipment that is completely portable and stronger. So if now you can imagine I'm over an embankment, I'm down in a field, I'm somewhere else where I can't get the apparatus close because everybody and their mother parked right on top of it, and be a completely independent.
How much is that, 40 grand?
The full system, mid-30s to set up a truck. But it's completely portable, and if power supplies dissipate and you use up your batteries, you can actually plug it into a 110 extension cord. Generator or wheel.
The ladder on the heavy red.
It will run 110?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Endlessly. So if you go, pull out the battery, you have an adapter. It comes with it, correct. So imagine if you had man and machine here, somebody that got pulled into a piece of equipment, you now don't have to bring a truck or a gas-powered unit in to try and free them with the jaws, because they're not just for cars. They're for everything else. They're for RIT when you have a firefighter in a building. So if you've got a guy that's in a basement collapse and needs to be extricated and you need to use some heavy lift capabilities, you can use these in oxygen-void environments because you don't need a gasoline motor.
We've used them on conveyor belts, folding machine. Somebody gets trapped.
How many trucks are
Three. Right now. Ladder 1, ladder 2.
Ladder 1 is only 15. Okay, that's at the station, but there's nobody. You have to leave someone back to take it.
So ladder 1
Not down. Yep. And then the ladder 2. Ladder 2 is down next to it, but that's a backup. It's not the idea. We've got
Sir, did you have kids control the 24?
I mean, in other words, if you make the investment, you gotta try to sell the story that you're not throwing it away. You're not throwing the hydraulic away.
We were replacing, probably we would end up replacing older.
I see.
The one that is not compatible with.
Now, the thing to think about, you're not trying to replace necessarily tools just because they're older, because they're on hydraulic lines. Cutters, for instance, that were manufactured like some that we had 20 years ago, they weren't the same metals and cars as those that are now. Nowadays, you have the Martin Citic core ones, the ultra high-strength steel, the high-strength low alloy, and all these things that protect my wife and kids, but we can't cut through your current cutters. So what do? We have to upgrade. So.
All right, Dave, you want to put your goggles on?
It looks vaguely familiar to me.
I don't know that.
Yeah, that's a battery pack.
That battery pack for them. That's it right here.
Yeah. And what's nice is you have what you can have.
Mine, I just brought a couple of replacements today. 2 years and they're not dead yet. So we used my original batteries for the whole 50 day. I've had up to 5 years. These are brand new. I just popped them in.
What we're going to be doing is take the right side off first, whatever you want. Take the right side off first. So right underneath that post, you're going to grip up on your knee. Take that. You're taking away the structural integrity.
Are we taking out the door? Both doors and the center post?
So once you take out the center post, the car's going to want to go like this.
Right.
So that's why you want to block right in between the two doors.
What about the roof?
No. Alright, so let's not start with this. Okay, so we grab two, we get on. Grab two. Steve, we'll get you to stabilize the center post.
Stabilize the center post meaning put the support down here. Lock up when you need.
Right? One side like that.
And you do one behind, one in front.
You're not trying to get right up.
You're gonna say, Cal, get the heck out of my way.
You can chalk the other side too. What you would do, okay, Dave, is the airbag, leave it lifted up enough for the jaws. Try to clear the vehicle up enough to get another set in there, pull right down. That's why you're chalking the wheels. Once you lift it,
a couple more or something.
And actually, if you want,
you're trying to protect the support of this whole thing collapsing down.
Right. So, why don't we lift the vehicle with the jaws and say he can trim this, and you're not trimming.
You also get a big one.
Right. You're not trimming the same way. You're gonna go.
Oh, I see. So you may go to
get a big one.
So what you want to do?
Kind of figure out
Here, you lay these here sideways. Okay. Right. And what you're gonna do, when the jaws, listen, you're gonna take the jaws, you're gonna put them.
Where's that battery?
You gotta use the old one first.
Holy shit.
You're gonna lift the vehicle, get them underneath there. Pretty good. Now, let me walk you can.
Hold it up.
Right here is gonna be this little operation limited. There you go. Let me go down to the ground. Put the knee under the water.
Somebody else will do the grippers.
Right. So someone else is here. They're gonna go like this. Like that. And then drop it. Yeah. And it close up all the way. You're gonna be using it to pry the door. Okay?
Pretty heavy, right?
Yeah.
Move this off. This side? Yep. So I have more right here. Now what are we going to do the door now, right? Alright, now you're going to take the tunnel. We're doing that. Right here. I see the outside. Step around the other side of the door. Hold on, I'm going to open this up with the hammer. I'm going to open this. I'll give you a second. Where you go? little parallel is a big factor. You can only run one. If you want to make a change from a cutter to a jaw, you got to change the unit. So that's a big selling factor, right? We're not replacing that this year, but we're gonna add a portable cutter so we don't have to change it. You got a phased approach to the upgrade.
Yeah.
You're never gonna fix all of it.
Right. Absolutely, you're gonna chip away. Yeah. Oh, that's our goal.
That's a very good, strong story. You got a guy running the cutter. We're gonna work on that. In the meantime, we got the jaw as a portable jaw.
And now we don't have to. Yep. But see, that's one extra guy you have to keep up with.
And you save a guy.
Now he's got that jaw here.
gonna put one of our EMS guys inside, head clear, stabilize the patient.
All right, I've got Randy here.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this back
All right, the seat.
Put it under his butt. Remove the seat belt. Now the person that's inside holding traction has the shot. Who's the shot? He said stop, calls all the shots.
Alright, you're gonna have to back your way around me because I gotta take this head and travel all the way up.
Okay, so that's got to be solid there. You can hold the end.
Correct. And the only thing we need to do is I need one person to lower the seat back a little bit.
I'll go in and get the seat.
Very good. And now he's gonna go around and we're gonna drop the seat back so I can clear Randy's head here. Rescue Randy. What do you call him,
Randy. We got a Randy.
Okay.
He's doing the seats fine.
What we're gonna do, Craig's gonna be on the arm. He's gonna pass the arm over to you. On 3, we're gonna get head onto board. Everybody set?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
On 3. Move you right up the board. On 3, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, go. Good position. Good straps on.
Now, we do not let go of seat line until that is locked. His spine is still at a vulnerable state. Yeah, the guy was just
This arm. Alright, we're on head call. We're gonna go 20 feet back over the extension point is. We'll walk over and we'll be long to the ground, go down on one knee, and not being with the weight. This is in line now. He can't go anywhere.
What do you think that easiest job to always be?
Moving? Okay.
You're in there keeping the patient calm.
Now what if the guy's talking to say, hey, I feel all right? Here's what can happen. And just to get it quick, we got to move station. You got him pinned under a steering column, right? That steering column is adding pressure right here to his leg. So his blood pressure up here seems fine, correct? Yeah. You get that steering column off him, and all bets are off once we get him out of the car. Because once we relieve that pressure and move him, what happens to his BP? He nosedives. The guy tanks. So while he's talking to you in the car, the second you get him out of there, he shits. It's all done. Now you're working him outside when he was talking to you 2 minutes before.
We always do this in every single car accident because we never know. We don't have an x-ray machine. So even if he scratches his feet, he's going to go to the hospital this way because you never know. I mean, I've seen it when you've been in an accident, the guy bumped his knee. You come back, you probably hurt C5 or C6. I never knew that, but we did the same steps every single time.
A lot of people don't realize Christopher Reeve walked around for 5 hours. Did he? Yeah. Wow. So,
if you practice the same way every time, then that's the way it is, no matter what the accident is.
Are you doing an airbag?
Yes, we're going to have a quick airbag class over here.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna move it.
Well, if you want to move them, they already see it.
All right, yeah, so then why don't we...
All right, you guys already seen my airbag glass, right?
Yeah, it's already heard it.
You heard
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, have some, you can trust down a little bit, have some water then.
Yeah. Rehydrate. Grab a water, cool down.
Fun stuff.
Well, because they won't let Roger fish in the sewer.
I wish I had a camera.
The rescue crew will get there and they'll do a search for victims too, maybe on a different floor or whatever. But when you find somebody, scrub everything, you got fire up, after the same. Any questions? Does anybody want to be on air for this? You want to put a take on? No. Okay, that's fine. You want to put a take on?
Yes. What?
You putting a take on it with the mask and breathing?
More real life, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not comfortable or...
Why you worry about the closet? Some
people are very happy.
Yeah, I'll let you know that.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'll be up there.
This fog, as you can tell, is very breathable. You don't need it's just mineral water, I believe. Steam it up.
Well, that's what's making this fog?
Yeah, we have a fog
Are
machine
you
upstairs.
Jason?
Yes.
You used to play Little League with my son, Mike in the door.
Good to see you. There's going to be enough of us up there. We're going to have the cameras. We'll be watching you. If you want to come off air, just signal us. We'll help you get it off. No problem. Like I said, we'll be able to see you.
We'll see you on the other side.
We'll all be around. And like I said, once we come back down here, we'll give you the cameras to show you get our coats on. I'll have my guys help you with the back.
Well, I mean, part of it, you know, we get the right to the this year, basically the scenario is we've got somebody that's up on the duty or that's lost the building's on fire, or this physical still taking it's more comfortable. It's easier to track.
You want to get the weight strap on, but then it takes a lot of the weight of it off. Reach for that.
So heavy, let me know.
Hold on, reach out, make sure. Just right here, you've got to try to get the buckle.
That's basically, you have a mask on.
Yeah.
This strip is basically a keeper.
No, that's good.
No. We don't want it on your shoulder.
It's on my hips.
The back cutting out, and then once ready, you're about to go out. Yeah, it's gonna be right on your head. Put it to your face.
It's 500
Pull the neck over the back.
Jason, yeah, I can use it like a totally with my knee.
Yep. Oh, yeah, go under your chin. Now it's both hands, grab the bottom one, pull them straight back. Grab the top one, pull them straight back. Put your palm over it, suck in.
Yeah, I don't bend. This is crazy.
Yeah, and now you have nothing in the pockets of your stuff. I have tools, and gloves, I have a radio and a flashlight, and it just adds more.
We wait on We're all set. Now, once you get to it, you want this up, and also turn it. See, it's got your order. You have the same in the front. So you find there, turn it, all over, turn it. Click it, and it's locked. And all you three of us series of lights are going to be 12. Not on.
Everybody's responsible for
This is crazy.
Most of the bigger trucks, like the Encoded ladder, they're all in the seat. So when you're sitting in the seat driving, basically all you have to do is throw the strap on. Cut out any seat.
You have 200 pounds in here right now. There's a chance that this fiber will might go off later.
I mean, it runs me.
These are running low. You have a quarter to take left? You're at half a tank. Your light's indicating that you're at half a tank? Just about you more. Put another bottle, I think that's too low.
I think the most.
Oh, you get to experience it.
The most anybody's used is 1,500, and everybody's been
It's
under
like scuba
that.
diving. I went one time, and the Bermuda place was so good, I went crazy, started breathing. Next thing you know, the guy goes, "You gotta go up," and because you get so excited that I was.
Yeah, you go through it pretty quick. Twist. Breathe. You want to take it off? It's twist it. Press this button right as you take it off.
It is kind of funky when you first take a breath and you don't feel like it. You kind of get it up.
It takes like 3 pounds of
Standing still. They make sure we work the whole time. That was just gonna keep shaking. So yeah.
That's in case you go down, right? That would go off, and we know someone's in trouble.
Who wants to be on the nozzle? Volunteers? You have a sensor back here.
Not yet, no. What we like, what we want to do is we don't do that until we're ready to go in. Try and see.
That's your safety.
So you're going to breathe in?
So if you just stand
All you're going to do is breathe and have it.
Use an active indicator as possible.
Knowledge is all
Be on the nozzle? Be on the nozzle? Yeah. We're all going to be on the same side of the hose.
Yeah, we're all.
We have a wire shut so you can.
I'm good. How about you?
Who are you with?
You representing anybody? Yo, I'm Carl's son, Carl.
Oh, okay.
The idea is that you got access to 30-minute bottle. It's only going to last you 5 to 10 minutes. You want to put it on the left. You want to stay about an arm's length away from your hair.
Try and save as much. Usually we're possible. Carry it just like this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Rather than be holding the hose and flow around.
With that.
Yeah,
Once you get to the top of the stairs, you're gonna get down to your knees. You're gonna crawl.
This is an entry.
You're gonna have one hand on here pulling this along, but you're also
So our
using
goal
your
is to
tool
get
to
to
kind
find
of
that
sweep
gap.
the floor. Because they could be laying in the center of the room.
Our goal is to find that person.
Find the person.
Report someone down.
Now, this is fully charged going up, or maybe,
It's half charged.
It's all that.
but we would still have to be ready to go in terms of,
In case you can fire up there, yeah.
she can say, will she indicate she's coming on?
No.
She just say, hey, boom, on we go.
Well, the one thing we like to do is we don't like to flow water until we see water. Right? You see, we don't put water on smoke. So we would keep going until we saw it. And you would know. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna get warm. You know, it would be very hot. You'd be like, where is it?
Today it won't.
Today you won't.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that messes up there.
And steamers.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so everyone go on air? Everyone on air?
Okay, we're on air. Okay, good. Okay.
All right, so go up and do a left-hand search. Keep your left hand on the wall.
Yeah, you go into the left.
Well, somehow I don't think I can take pictures in there.
Yeah.
Good guys up there?
That's good infrared.
What do you do with this like me?
No, I believe that. I stay towards the same, yeah.
I think it's an insurance company that has it.
Oh, yeah?
Not an Uncle Bill.
Huh?
How to get the Uncle Bill.
I don't have that.
That's a casino.
Okay, went there, went a lot. I could be wrong. Just one stop.
Next way to go down is feet first, ready, butt. Right there,
Sit down?
Yeah, keep your feet up. Just like when you were a kid.
Compromise, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
up there.
How'd you do?
I wouldn't want to do it.
Turn the plug and see what
What's that? How'd you do? Alright.
That's different, huh?
Yeah, way different.
What'd you think?
It was cool.
I'll do it.
No?
I don't want to do that.
I couldn't
No, it's a
do
cool
that.
experience, but I don't want to do it.
Now make it 500-600.
She was in 2 groups ago. No, she didn't go. Or Diana?
Yeah, then you have the heat.
Oh, yes, I do.
Furniture.
Yeah.
You know what that's bumping into?
It's okay if you lock them.
Loosen up each one of those.
Now we're gonna go up for real. You alright? Coast Guard on your right.
So should, yeah. Perfect. Wow, very cool.
Do your build pretty much used
Everything.
over 2,000 pounds of air. That was what, maybe 10 minutes worth?
What I didn't realize is you crawl on the knees, because we talked about that back there, and that's you don't really vision that till you do it. That's pretty interesting.
There's 2 reasons to do that. One, if there's a hole. You don't want to do that.
Good?
That was freaky. That was amazing. And I didn't go through with the whole.
We had to take your stuff back up. We had to take your stuff back up.
I had when I got down on the wall with that big
We didn't have a light. And when the guy put the light on, it made a big difference. So I sort of was kind of looking for one on the helmet or something. That would be the case or no?
Sometimes we ran out of plug. You can actually see it.
Yeah.
And I got one of these, and then the other one, I got that. I got that.
like the orange one.
Yeah, that made a big
A
difference.
lot of guys carry.
Very, very, in terms of,
As your vibrolar started to skip, if you had gone out of there, it would have basically sucked your face.
which is panic.
That is a panic.
So if I was up there and my thing went off, the red line goes off, am I supposed to start moving out? Yes, that's. That's
Don't
it.
want to leave somebody behind the door up there.
Right.
You're basically leaving the hose in there, turning around.
Even though I got 10 minutes, you're basically saying, yeah, I'm out of here. Or I didn't have 10 minutes, and you got a few minutes, right?
Yeah, a 30-minute ball over with, that's it. Then you come out, you grab another one, do it again, and then
And there's different techniques on breathing, like at the academy. The first week we were there, we were zapping out pretty quick. But once you start kind of getting used to it, you get control of your breathing a little bit more.
I've done diving, and I did that same thing. The first time I went diving,
One guy down here, literally throwing it up.
going crazy. You got 70% ability to picture everywhere. So down the guy goes,
You gotta go to work.
but I'm like the first one to have to go up because I had burned up all my oxygen, acting like an idiot. So I'm sitting on the phone, geez. And then where is everybody? And they're all down there cruising around.
do you want to go upstairs and try to look with this thing, or?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Want to put a coat and stuff on?
No, you're good.
You guys want to look this?
I was watching that upstairs earlier.
Right, oh, there's
Yep.
it.
That is
It's
something.
still a little foggy in here, so.
We get about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can't see anything on here with that thing. See walls.
You can actually see the seam and.
Yeah, we lost a lot of fog.
Oh, there you go.
Nope, you can see a body.
Yep.
And the hose line's still on the floor, just be careful when you're.
But even with the lights on,
Yeah.
you're not seeing anybody
Look at
over
Oh,
there.
there.
Wow, that is cool. I can see you now.
What are
Yep.
you guys sleeping on the job? Come on.
That is very cool.
You didn't rescue him, you left him.
And one deceiving
But even-
feature with that, if you turn around and look at the glass, you see your reflection.
Oh, yeah.
Me, it's you.
That is.
So
What is that? Just clear glass?
Just
Yeah.
clear
any
glass.
glass, mirror, or reflective surface.
No kidding.
So like a dance studio might be a tough time with a wall full of mirrors.
And you start thinking there's a lot of firefighters in there with the imaging cameras.
Yeah, waving. Look at that. You can see the studs on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wiring will show up a little better. And with these newer ones, if you hit 300 degrees, it'll turn red. So you know that's a fire. It'll be color gradient so you can tell. It's a really useful tool.
Very cool.
Unfortunately, it's just another thing you have to carry and grab.
And that green dot in the center, wherever you point that, that's where the temperature reading on the side is.
Oh yeah, I can see it. No, that's cool.
I tell you, this was smoking heat. I'd be getting pretty paranoid.
Yeah, me too.
And you start throwing furniture in the mix, and you don't know where you are. And you get stuck under a coffee table or behind a couch very easily.
Definitely, it's almost like you need goggles like this, right? Built right into your thing, right?
They do make.
I'm sure they're working on them.
Yeah.
Well, they do, but they're not very. You know, the Bullard who came out with that. But it wasn't very. You get disoriented real quick with the helmet ones.
Yeah, you almost like you want to have like
Yeah.
be able to like bifocals or something, you know?
Deputy, where do you want them all?
That would be beautiful.
Really, very cool.
I'm gonna follow you.
No, I won't. Yep.
Yeah.
I won't let you go. Oh, watch the line right there.
Yep, thank you. Watch the hose there. Stay to the right.
Stay to the right. Perfect. Perfect.
Very cool.
Part of like just separate groups. They all get together.
You know what I mean? Have a pair where you're going looking normal and
Right.
you drop down to those where you feel ready for your helmet rather than carrying that. 'Cause that's the thing that was awkward. You carry the tool, you carry the hose. You know what I mean? The more you can freaking really slow better. Not actually knowing where you're going. That's what I'm saying. You just freaking drop down. You want to see normal, and then you very easily. Yeah. Then you start looking wrong. Yeah. That's why we can look at that.
I mean, sooner or later.
Probably made here.
Pretty much, how much faster you can find something with one of those? How you traditionally go in, you look and feel around.
That would give me the release. That would give me the release.
That's it. More exercise.
I look forward to writing computer code.
Weight of the tank.
I mean, with training and everything else, right?
You can't get up without any weight on your back.
I can't do this. The weight on my hips is just.
I couldn't get up with that.
Jay in there?
Wait till the Jay.
Because now you can't submit it like snail mail anymore. You have to do everything electronic, and then you have to scan the sign-in sheet and submit it with the Excel spreadsheet. That's all you have to do. I'll show you.
Oh, they charged it 2.5.
Charge it 2.5 per bed.
I think it's leaking by. I know, that's what I'm asking. I was told to. Blow the pump up.
Don't listen to the pump operator. We're ready. You ready? Hello.
Alright, let's see if I can do this.
You were at half price. Same thing as before. Grab that line, push forward, and really, really have to push it forward. Big time. Same with you. You really got to push your forward. Ready? Yeah. You guys ready? Full pressure. All right. Open it up. Right about that. Open this up all over the station. That's a straight thing. So when you further thing, now the take the most penetration. Okay? Yeah. You got to get it back with that pump. Keep going. Keep going. All right. You want to feel right here? Yeah. All right. What they're doing is if you're in a house and you're putting this out the window, it's drawing all that smoke out. Okay? You put your hand up here, you feel the air moving right out of it. Okay? That's what we call hydraulic ventilation. Okay? Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, now we're gonna rotate. Everyone just move up.
Yep. Same thing. Okay, grab that hose, push the line forward. Everybody ready? I'm feeling all the pressure. Okay, open it right up. So low. Nope, other way. Keep on. Feel the hose. Solid screw. We're gonna get no penetration.
You take this engine backward, let go. You take this chin to the backward, then you let go. We do this for every single car accident. Whether he bumped his knee or whatever, because you don't know if he has a spot in here. We don't have an MRI machine here. So if we do this for every patient, we're safe. So they might say, oh, just my elbow hurts. We're not a doctor. We don't have Leominster Hospital here, so we're going to go ahead and treat every patient the same. A, B, and C every time. All right? Okay? Good job. All right, we're going to go over there and do a quick 5-minute airbag class. We're actually going to deploy an airbag. All right, so take off your gear. Get yourself cool down. Keep your all set. Alright, let's take your gear off and we'll do a quick.
Want to do this again in another year or so. From the feedback seems to be pretty good from walking around the different groups.
Engine 3, right one, being dispatched to 72 Church Street, provide the building. 4-3, right one.
So I just want to, thank you guys for doing that. Chief, did you got any words? I got him up.
Down at the right time.
I'll go over. What you guys were watching while you were eating, this is actually a drill that we did on our group. The wastewater treatment plant down by Home Depot. They approached us, and what it was, they've got a double cellar. Some of the areas were 16 to 24 feet deep. And they approached us saying, hey, what's going to happen if we fall in here? How are we going to get out? And that's how our department stays proactive. Within a week or so, we had done a training exercise down there to kind of help them out. A lot of the industry in town is like that. They're concerned when their workers get injured, trapped, how are we going to do it? We did it at the high school about a month ago. We did the same thing. They're working up above the auditorium. The general contractor came to us and said, what happens if we get stuck? So we're being proactive in the community, trying to get out there, trying to learn, and just trying to be much more proficient at our jobs. Hopefully today, you've seen how much we love our job. Like I said, these guys came off duty, and I was very impressed. We've got guys that volunteered today that have been with us 2 months, all the way up to 30 years. So it really ran out of a 75-man department. We had 33 volunteers that came out to show you our trade today. So it was really tremendous. Chief's got a few words.
Just briefly, thanks to all the participants. Very, very impressive to watch as an observer, the participants and some of our younger guys step up and do the instruction. And just thank you. And basically, it speaks for itself. You got a good hands-on feeling of doing the job. I'm sure you'll come back with a lot of positive feedback and comments. Thanks.
Thank you. From my perspective, very educational, and I thank everybody that showed up and volunteered. Right. Really well done and very enlightening. So I appreciate everyone.
Great, thank you. Craig, you got anything?
Just again, thanks to everyone for doing it. And if anything comes up where there's anything else you want to know, what else we do, anything like that, don't hesitate to let any of us know. if there's something we could do better, we're all ears, you know, and like Jeff said, you know, we love doing this. I mean, this is, you know, we were going through some of the stuff, and, you know, there was some comments of, you know, I don't, you know, it's kind of what we sit there hoping to do. So, we really like what we do. We get to see a lot of the equipment, some of the equipment we'd like to go to. So hopefully that, down the road, everyone understands if you read the paper, or they're, you know, hopefully, you know, putting together some money for us. You know, you're not going to get mad at Councilor Rollins for agreeing to it. Because you've seen some of the things that we do. Hint, hint. So again, you know, thanks a lot. And if you know of anybody that would like to do something like this, I'm sure we would love to do it again. So thanks again.
As a parting gift, please keep the helmets. They're a present from us to you guys for participating. You sweated hard in them. We don't want to reuse them. So you're free to, once again, thank you for coming.
If you want the pants, I'll take those too. And the jacket, and I'll just show up on scene.
Any comments, anything that you would like to see different? Or?
I think you guys did a great job. I've been working with most of you, and you guys, for years, and I'll tell you, I'm impressed. I thought I saw it all till today. You guys really put your heart and soul into it. I don't give you credit. It's hard. We see it after you've done the job. Nobody really sees what you do up front, except you guys, you know. To show that to us, and like I said, we've been around for a lot of years, and to show us what you really do, it's impressive to do the job. Very impressive. Thank you. All right, thanks.
All right. We can show you our rescue again.
Don't do the slideshow, because there's one phone I gotta discuss.
I was gonna say, there may be another one on that disc. I don't know if you.
And we might end up with some good pictures that we're going to forward to you.
Oh, excellent.
Hopefully.
I would like to be able to show them to my class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.